Hello, hello. Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Lord, we're starting with a hype train. Good God. Hi, thank you so much. Um, thank you so much to everybody for that. um, Lord, right out the gate, Miz is like, Nikki's revenge on a reading stream. Oh, hi, my gosh. Hi, hi, hi. So I want to make sure, hold on, I'm adjusting a few sound levels to make sure we are where they need to be. I don't want to blow anybody out of house and home. So hello Twitch and hello YouTube. We've got a party over in YouTube as well. I see we got Neko there and we got Night of the Living Cookie and we've got Clay. Hey, hey. Oh gosh, Water, thank you for the cheer. Thank you so much. I haven't even started yet. Y'all, I don't know where you are in the world, but over here on the west coast of the US, specifically in the oh God, King, thank you. In the Pacific Northwest, it is hotter than hell. And we are back in the swing of the heat. So Mama is melting a little bit. Needless to say, I do not have my Sylus blanket with me. Because it's too fucking hot. But I have a homemade smoothie. I got some ice water. Hello, Frost. Dolores, is this where I make a joke? But it's a dry heat. Y'all, I live right next to the water. The humidity's gonna kill me before anything else. It's just, ugh. I do not like the heat. Ibo, darling, hello. So, Neko, I figured out a copycat recipe to a Jamba Juice recipe that I love. And so I love it's gone through so many names. Was called the Orange Sea Booster. It was called the Cold Buster at one point, but essentially it's orange sherbet, peaches, banana, and orange juice is the combination. Mad Kitty, hello, darling. And it's my favorite thing ever. So to save money, I learned how to make it because I was craving it so often. And it's essentially a vitamin C bomb, is really what it is. And I'm not bad about it. Oh, Mango Tango is so good. My mother, not not me, but my mother loves Mango Tango. And Jamba has some great combinations. I use them as a King, if you value your life, never call my mom that. She is not ready for that. She lets my goddaughter call her Oma. It's really cute. We can call her Grandfoot. Mama's mama. That's what I refer to her. It's Mama's mama. But we are absolutely in smoothie season, y'all. It is too hot. I was not made for this. My ancestors are of the northern European mutt style. My heritage comes from the lands of rain and snow. I was built to move dead oxen off the road in the middle of a blizzard. Okay, we're talking like English. we're talking Irish, we're talking Swedish, Norwegian, German. Like, I was not made for heat, y'all. I was just not made for it. I really wasn't. Not a single one of my ancestors was like, hey, maybe we should go south, pick up some melanin and people who can withstand the heat. No, they were like, we like the snow, and then we're going to move to the US and stick to the snow. I was like, God damn it, guys, just give me somebody with some heat resistance. Just one. I am melting into a puddle. I can't do this. They were not thinking about their descendants, is all I'm saying. So think of your descendants, children. Diversify the bloodline. But I know we are all the I know that there is one name in the air right now, and that name is Valko. And Valko has dropped, and the world has a lot of feelings about it. Holy shit, does the world have a lot of feelings about that man. And it's only been 47 seconds. I don't know how we're all gonna survive a goddamn character trailer if we lose our shit collectively at 47 seconds. But that's where we are. Night of the Living Cookie is all for Valko and is barking and calling out to her mate lost in the woods. It's cracking me up. Ow! So, quick reminder to both the YouTube and the Twitch channel, the new emotes are there for you. There are new ones. Mama got new ones. She has some personal favorites. Charter, I was not there for, we'll get to the world underneath, I promise y'all. I was not there for Sylus's initial drop. I was there for Caleb's drop. And when Caleb dropped, like, everybody had been chomping at the bit for it. Oh my God, May, 60 stream streak. Thank you so much. The internet had been chomping at the bit for Caleb for like months. So when Homecoming Wings, when they had the stream and Homecoming Wings hit, it was wild. And Caleb was, I feel like every time a new LI drops, it's incredibly divisive no matter what. So like there was Caleb hit, and there were people who were so excited for it, and there were people who were very much not, which I think Caleb mains are well aware of, because people get really, unfortunately, incredibly toxic about Caleb mains, and I don't understand it. It drives me a little nuts. Oh my God, Elise, am I saying it? Elise V, hi, thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, no, Caleb mains have been going through it ever since Caleb dropped, because people just go after them, and I do not understand it, and I do not understand why. If this person is not your main, please walk away. Same with Valko. There are some people who Valko is hit, and they are just chomping at the bit and ready to, like, short of a... Wait, this is 18 plus. You all... Hi! Come over. Oh, yay, you found us on YouTube and decided to come over. Welcome to the Twitch chat. We're a little nuts over here. What was I saying? Oh, there are some people, Valko is hit, and this is an adult stream, so I'll exactly phrase it this way, and it's also me, and you all expect me to say unhinged wild shit like railjacking. Sorry, Iris and Crystal, for that. Destroyed Warframe for those two, I swear to God. There are people who are literally dropped to all fours and fucking presented and was like, mate me now. And there are others who, are like, not my jam. Now, for those who are not my jam, they fall into two camps. There are the ones who are like, not my man. That's not my aesthetic, not my jam. And they're very polite about it. They're very adult about it. They have emotionally regulated. And there are others who are violently against Valko. And I'm like, we don't have enough for you to be this vitriolic about it, guys. It's a 47-second clip, and we're still unearthing stuff in the narrative where he might be and might not be. Like, so those people are very much, to me, giving me the vibes of the same people who get very vitriolic with Caleb mains. And granted, there are some people who find Rafayel toxic. Like, there's always this line on the internet where people decide that because I don't like the person you like, I get to be verbally abusive to you online, and I do not know that. I do not understand that, and that is not the space that I like to create here in the Void or with Nikki on Love and Jig Space. Like, we are adults. These are digital men. As a reminder to everybody watching, I feel like I have to have a mother moment here. These are digital men. They are not in any way, shape, and form real. This is fiction. It is a visual story. There is no need to get, like, verbally abusive on the internet to other people over... They are king, and it hurts my fucking soul, okay? I wish they were real. Mama wishes her harem was real. Fictional men have ruined me for life. There is no need to get verbally abusive online for digital men. It's just, everybody, please go touch grass. And I say this as someone who gets highly emotional. You all saw me sob my way through Netherlord. I couldn't even speak by the end of it. I was just like... Like, it was bad, y'all. I say this as someone who gets highly invested in characters and highly invested in story and emotes very heavily with what I'm reading and what I'm doing. But again, digital men. I am interested to see, as I said on the live stream, and I've sat there with this, I don't have enough yet to form an opinion on Valko one way or the other. Like, I need more. It has me interested, and I know that there are some people who have mentioned that he's in the world underneath, specifically in 30, I think was one of the highlights. So I can't wait for us to get to there next week to read story 30. And I know Angel Corner dropped a short about how she found his voice on the scene in Sylus's debut in Long Awaited Revelry with the hunting day and the robot, and that's really interesting. My only thing is, I know that Love and Deepspace Infold reuses voice actors, so that's the only thing that makes me kind of go, wait a sec, because we know we've heard Jenna's voice actress and Talia's voice actress and some of the others sprinkled in playing other characters. So I don't know if that is meant to be a, hey, Valko was here all along, or it's just, hey, we've had Valko's voice actor on the payroll and we've used him for other characters as well. So I'm taking that with a grain of salt. Like all good conspiracy theories, children, we have to like take a moment and kind of figure out, because capitalism. It is winter, it is talking about hunting, and that is on theme. I get that that's on theme, and that's why I'm at the moment more inclined to believe that might possibly be a sign of Valko, especially since his evol has to do with metal, and I don't know what that means yet. I don't know what his evol does. Does his evol mean that he can manipulate metal, ergo he can manipulate robots and can like just roll in as a living AI? I have no idea. So, or he just took control over that particular robot and was speaking through it. So what it comes down to is that Kate just casually like, ooh, Caleb's arm. Oh shit. I want to know what Valko's evil does. I need more of a character. I need a character trailer. I need something more than 2 lines of dialogue and his glorious full moon of an ass in my face. It's a great ass. Don't get me wrong. It's a lovely ass. He's built like there is stuff to work with, children, but we need, it's cooking. It's still baking. We're baking that butt. We're baking the bakery. Valko's still baking for me. He is in the oven. We got a hand on the door. We're looking through the hole, and we're just waiting. We're looking through the window, and we're just waiting for him to be done and pop out. And then I'll know if the bake was good. It's like sourdough. We don't know if the bake is good until we take it out, and we're not there yet. It's still in the oven. It smells good. It smells tempting, and we want to take it out, but we can't do it yet. Oh, bitch, you know I would bedazzle a fucking collar for Valko. That puppy is gonna have a grand old time in my harem when he comes out. He's in a holding pattern, Shadow. He's there, he's at the door, he's knocked somewhat politely. It was a bit of a surprise visit. He's a little like hat in hand. I'm sorry, I didn't announce. I'm just here. I knew there was a party going. He's being vetted by security. He's there, he's at the palace, he's at the harem location, he's being vetted by security. That is where Valko is in the harem. And we're gonna decide once we get a character trailer and what's going on, whether he shall be fully let in to the harem, all the way up to the main concubines to join my apothecary diary harem with the virtuous consorts and the wise consorts, you know? I need more. I need more narrative. I need a character trailer. That's where I'm at with Valko. That's where I'm at. I need more. I'm excited. I'm intrigued. I would like to see where he goes and what he's doing and what's happening. But I'm a story girl. I don't just fall for every pretty face that comes before me. I'm a demisexual. I need more. I need emotional and mental investment before we fully kick in. So this is the first date. We're looking, we're seeing what's going on. That's where I'm at. Like, that is how I am. Yay! Shout out for the demisexuals in the group. Oh Lord, TSA is gonna suck. Woo woo. Okay, so on that note,
I'm in danger.
That's how I feel. There is a threat there. There is something there, but we will see. We will see if hunting day comes and Valko and I dance in the woods. Until then. Until then, a little Squirtle Sax to get us in the mood. Yes, I did absolutely make that joke, Night of the Living Cookie. Serious question. Ooh, yes, we have a serious question. Speak to me, darling. What is your question? Vertical, horizontal. We'll dance all over, Winter. Don't you worry. There are multiple positions, and I'm more than happy to put him through his paces. But anyway. What is the serious question? Other than your goofy face. No, hello. Or did you already ask it and it's up? Scrolling through to make sure I didn't miss your question already. No, it doesn't look like it's there. Darling, nobody's excited about getting up at 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday. No one ever. Seriously, I saw that paw print, Miz, and I was like, Halcyon, we're about to have a bear scene. It's the Baldur's Gate 3 crossover we never knew we needed. It's above. Okay, hold on. I was scrolling and I didn't necessarily see it, but let me scroll again. Do. I'm sorry, darling. I think I might have lost it in the chat. Could you ask the question again for me? Because I don't want to miss your question, but I'm legitimately not seeing it. And I feel really bad. I'm like scrolling. I'm like, ah. I mean, there were people who were like, my heart belongs to a 6th LI when there was just a shadow of a suggestion of an LI. That paw print was absolutely massive. I'm saying the LIs, not NPCs. He's 13 feet long. Baby, are you talking his full height or his dick? Because that's way too much. Oh, any LIs that are not in my harem? No, at the moment, all the LIs are in the harem. It's just a matter of where they are in the harem. I have yet to look. I never turn down if a rich hot man wants to. Yes, Valko is destined to join the harem. He's just gotta. Like any good pack, he's got to fight for his place. Lord. Okay, kids. This went from a reading stream to a... Cookie, don't look. That's that. What in the Wattpad? Look, I am certain AO3 and Wattpad are already alive with Valko and the ficking. Like the writer in me is sensing it. Essentially, Charter, it's, as I said, it's not cheating everybody. It's separate timelines. That's how it works being a harem girly. But, you know, once I have to have a coffee date. I have to, well, better be damn good coffee. That man is a CEO with a black credit card. I have to have a first date. Like, I haven't even had a first date with Valko yet. It's a business meeting. By the way, hello, Nikki. Blaze, darling, hello. I know. Winter, that does make my usual saying get it really weird. Inside Valko is 2 wolves. No fucking duh. You know, I don't know who has the better credit limit, Rafayel, Sylus, or Valko. I'm more than happy to let them duke it out. Mod mode activate. Okay. Oh, baby Aunt. Well, Aunt Talia's married. I want that on record. Aunt Talia is married and I am not a home wrecker. So she is a friend to the harem. But were she not married, I would Talia I could work with that. I could absolutely work with that. But I don't break up marriages. I don't. She's still fucking hot. She's gorgeous, and I love her voice. Like, single Talia, absolutely in the harem, no questions asked. If she gets divorced, hit me up. But so long as she's married, no. She can visit the harem. We can go on fun little friend dates, and she can help dress me. Exactly. She is the rich auntie who spoils all her future nieces and nephews, and I love that. All right, so World Underneath. We have officially reached the stories I have not read before, so you are going to get my raw, unfiltered reaction and wild conspiracy theories, should they appear. I already see that the first one is going to deal with Zayne, and I'm like, cool. Do I have my tissues? Perfect. Probably going to cry. So, what was the name of this one called? Dusk to Autumn. Chapter 1. Divergence. Wow, his hair is as white as snow. I've never seen clothes like these before. They must be complicated to put on. I wonder how old he is. Where did he come from? He's awake! He's awake! When Shubai opens his eyes, he sees faces crowded around him. Having always been the observer of humans, Shubai finds himself being observed for the first time. Curious children with varying appearances are gathered by his bedside. They speak in a language that belongs to the outside world he observed for so long. Shubai's head dully aches as he struggles to recall everything that happened. He was in the lecture hall to study the proper etiquette for serving the emissary. Then, fierce winds arose and the sky darkened. A massive rift appeared at the junction where the fractal library branched off into different worlds. While everyone was trying to determine the cause of this new branch, Shichi, calling excitedly, charged into the opening. As ordered gradually returned, the administrator spoke to Shubai with grave solemnity. Your reading companion has found the emissary. Your mission has begun. Afterward, Shubai gave in and followed Shichi's call into the rift. In a whirlwind of chaos where the sky and earth seemed to spin amid howling winds and blizzards, Shubai landed on wilted grass. His head struck a tree stump. His vision went dark, and he lost consciousness while hearing Shichi's anxious howls. Now that he's awake, he finds himself surrounded by children. After going through the trouble of getting here, the first face he sees isn't the revered emissaries. Shubai wishes he could pass out again. Everyone, please give him some space. Don't crowd around him. He needs air to breathe. A woman approaches. She appears to be in her 40s and is wearing a white lab coat. That's never a good sign. Shubai has studied many materials about this era in preparation for meeting the emissary, so he recognizes this as a doctor's attire. Unfortunately, with no hospital name embroidered on her coat, he can't determine where he is or how far he might be from the emissary. The children obediently make way as the doctor sits next to the bed. She holds up her hands, gestures with her fingers, and speaks in a gentle voice. Hey kiddo, how many fingers am I holding up? Shubai takes a moment to process the fact that he was called a child. Then he cautiously answers this impromptu cognitive test. 7? Good. The doctor smiles at him. The wound on your forehead has been treated. Why don't you lie down for a while longer? Ignoring her suggestion, Shubai asks, what year is it now? It's the most important question at hand. One of the children speaks. 2035. Oh, I thought I was unconscious for years, like in those TV shows. Noticing the confusion and concern in the doctor's eyes, Shubai quickly explains himself. Thankfully, TV shows were his most important resource for learning about this era. The doctor smiles, and Shubai breathes a sigh of relief. Then he asks another important question. This is Lincoln City, right? In the autumn of 2035, this timeline's emissary of the divine should have just entered Lincoln's medical school. 3 years later, he'd relocate and attend the medical school in Skyhaven. Lincoln City? The doctor looks surprised. That's thousands of kilometers away from here. When the patrolling hunters found you this morning, you were unconscious in the wasteland nearby. You were alone. The emissary isn't here? Shubai's eyes widen, unable to believe it. Shichi's nose is more sensitive than a dog's. How could he have led him astray? Throwing aside the covers, he immediately tries to get out of bed and put his shoes on. I need to go to Lincoln City. No, the doctor's expression becomes stern as she presses him back down with one hand. Her voice remains calm. You've been unconscious all day, and it's already nighttime. Wanderers emerged from the cracks in the stone walls near where you were found. The Hunters Association has temporarily designated it as a no-hunt zone. It's extremely dangerous, and transportation won't resume until the alert is lifted. Will it take a long time? Shubai asks. Lying down, his face reveals his disappointment. It's for everyone's safety, the doctor replies. She leans forward to check the bandages on his forehead and examines any wound drainage. Her ID badge slips into Shubai's view. Do you live in Lincoln City? Like it's his home? They serve the emissary of the divine. They don't need homes. No, I'm looking for someone. Shubai replies, his gaze falling. Wow. Let me try again and take a sip of water. No, I'm looking for someone, Shubai replies, his gaze falling on the ID badge before him. The upper left corner displays a human figure outlined in red and white lines, the symbol of doctors worldwide. In the name section, Dr. Althea. Lincoln City is huge. Who are you looking for? Shubai furrows his brow and tries to recall the emissary's appearance. It has been too long since they met. Or rather, Shubai has always been a reader who learned about him through objective descriptions. He's tall, cold, with a hard ice core. Dr. Althea blinks a few times as if trying hard to imagine him. Shubai stares at her expectantly. Do you know someone like him? Dr. Althea shakes her head and laughs. No, but this is the first time I've heard someone with such a description. So here's a question, chat. How old is Shubai? Because they're living in a pocket of time. A winter, 1 billion. I mean, he's got of course he appears like a child. He's an ageless godchild, absolutely. I mean, physically he looks like he reads to me as like 13, 14. But that's a question I've had since he was introduced. Is just how old is Shubai? Because he also feels young-ish compared to the administrator. He's learning how to take care of the emissary. So he's old enough where he would technically be considered an adult, but young enough, I mean, by our standards, considered an adult, but young enough where he would still feel childlike to wherever he is from. So it's like his aging is how do I say? It almost reminds me of fantasy and how elves age because they live so long, or the Asari in Mass Effect. That wonderful line where, you know, Liara's like, I'm but a child. I'm only 200 something years old, and we're all going, God, I wish I was still a child and 200 years old. That would be great. He feels that way. To us, it's like, dear God, but to his own people, it's like, he's but a child. That is also a fair commentary, Mad Kitty. He has a sense of youngness because he hasn't experienced much of anything outside of his own world. So that naivete leads to a sense of childlikeness about him. And yes, thank you, Frost. I will take a sip of water. Althea! All right. Chapter 2. Soft and sturdy. It's late, and all the children are asleep. Shubai, not truly a child, tosses and turns. He's unable to sleep. He quietly gets out of bed and walks to the courtyard. The moon hangs high, its light like frost, as the tree's branches near the wall drop. Yep, can't read that name. Hi, Frost, how you doing? Crystalline dewdrops form on the leaves. September nights are heavy with dew here. And the leaves have yellowed early. It's almost like late autumn. This is unlike the library's perpetual spring, and it's the first time Shubai has seen leaves that are half green and half yellow. He can't help but stare. Dr. Althea sits under a lamp while filling out medical records. She looks up to see him, and a hint of resignation crosses her face as she beckons. Come here. Shubai brings over a small stool and sits down. Snoring softly, Chi-Chi is curled up at Dr. Althea's feet. The doctor peels a tangerine and carefully separates the pieces before handing them to him. Shoot, I didn't get the mute fast enough. Sorry, everybody. Sneeze. Oh. Take a sip of water. Ah, my nose. There are only 2 doctors at this field hospital. In addition to Dr. Althea, who Shubai has grown familiar with, there's also her husband, Dr. Jace. He's spending the night at the hunter's camp for a shift. Althea looks at Shubai, and her smile reaches her eyes. Our son is only a couple years older than you. He's studying in Lincoln City. She opens her phone, selects a contract marked with an orange emoji. Contact, excuse me. Selects a contact marked with an orange emoji and scrolls through their chat to find a photo. Here. Shubai leans forward to look, and his expression freezes. No wonder Chi-Chi ran here. In the photo, flower petals dance in the wind across a university campus. A boy who still has a boyish look carries a stack of materials that nearly reaches his chin. He's walking alone through the crowd. The students around him are older and taller. His youthful, fair face stares into the camera with wide, cat-like eyes. He looks very, very tiny, adorable, and soft, right? Althea sighs with motherly affection. He's already a teenager, but whenever I look at my Zayne, I can't help but feel this way. I know you just want to pinch his cheeks. Even now, he gets that hamster face on him, and you just want to pinch his little cheeks. Zayne is fucking adorable. Zayne is adorable. Doesn't matter what age he is. You just want to squeeze. And for once, I'm not making a dirty joke. Shubai doesn't dare to respond. He pretends his mouth is too full of mandarin orange pieces to speak. To him, this tiny, soft boy in the photo is none other than the supreme, solemnly dignified emissary of the divine. The emissary is like a blade forged from frost and snow as he stands above every world that deserved to be erased. Tall, cold, with a hard ice core is the only accurate description. I'm not Frost. I whipped past it. I'm not doing it. Oh, you absolutely know Zayne's parents would adopt the hell out of Dawnbreaker. And just pretend they were twins. Shubai raises his hand and taps the screen. Althea smiles and opens an album titled Zayne for him. A family photo where he, as a 5-year-old, mimics his parents by clenching his little fists against his cheeks to imitate a cat. Oh, dear Jesus. And now he has MC to make him do that. He has been trained from birth. A picture of his calm, chubby 8-year-old face after winning a gold medal in a youth mathematics competition. A photograph featuring the look of wonder on his 11-year-old face while Jace lifted him onto a massive 577-kilogram pumpkin during a family outing. A recent photo where he's attending a university entrance ceremony surrounded by peers who were half a head taller than him. There are also photos of a summer night spent eating ice cream and stargazing with a neighborhood girl, as well as the frequent appearances of a woman who transformed from a young mother in her 20s to a gentle woman in her early 40s. Seeing the emissary gradually growing up with a happy expression and his mother slowly aging, Shubai feels the reality of this world for the first time. People grow old, the emissary grows up, and leaves turn yellow. Well, we started off so well. Angst train is here. Oh, they are, Laquan. Dawnbreaker and Zayne are one person. They're two different personas of the same person. In just different realities. We're just making a joke that if Dawnbreaker had a separate body, Zayne's mother would absolutely adopt him. Yes, hello. Oh, pardon me, y'all. It seems a tiny god, speaking of divine emissaries, a tiny god has appeared. And we must make offerings to said tiny god. Come here. Are you gonna just sit in the middle of the living room and yell at me? Come on. Come on. Come on. He's like, it is too hot to hop onto a table. There we go. Come here. So, for those of you who may be new to the stream, I possess a cat who I love and adore. And I refer to him as a tiny god because he really is. He's a spoiled little brat, but, I love him anyway. His name is Binks. He just turned 3. Hi, baby. And he's a talker. Henry is the purr, and Henry belongs to Nikki. But, yes, hello. But Binks is mine, and he will be the one usually howling and meowing sometimes. Yes, Hocus Pocus. Yes, Halloween is my favorite holiday, and Hocus Pocus is one of my favorite films. And when I was looking for a cat, I saw Binks, and it was kind of kismet. So that's my baby. Hello, baby. Yes. I know it's really hot. I get it, baby. We're just gonna swelter together. I do need to post more pics of Binks on the Discord. I really do. Like, I have so many on my phone. Granted, it's usually when he's curled up and sleeping because he's adorable. Hi, baby. Oop. He's a Velcro cat. He lives on me. He hates when I stream because he can't sit in my lap very well because of the way my setup is made. So he always ends up yelling at me. But our offerings have been accepted, my darlings, so may you possess good luck on your polls if you are still strategically polling on Once Upon a Frame. May your boy come home. And may Carter fuck all the way off. Oh, he is a lap cat. He's a lap cat. He's a leg cat. But yes, Binksy is my baby. Oh yeah, Binks and Henry absolutely talk to each other on the phone. It's really funny. They'll hear the other and respond. All right, here we go. Chapter 3. Oh, this one's 13 pages long. Ooh, good. It's. I guess the angst train is probably rolling in now. Chapter 3. Autumn's Embrace. Several weeks pass. Shubai's clothes are washed, dried, ironed, and then dirtied again from playing. Shichi is plumper now. Finally, the alert is lifted. The Hunters Association's dispatch team conducts a thorough sweep of the surrounding areas to ensure there are no lingering dangers from the Wanderers. While staying at the field hospital and waiting for transportation to resume, Shubai receives a cartoon hoodie as a replacement. It supposedly belonged to the emissary of the Divine when he was younger. It features an angry carrot that Shubai particularly liked. Of course his mother would get him an angry carrot. Oh, I love it. According to Dr. Jace, Nikki, we're gonna have to make an angry carrot hoodie. There is no choice. We have no choice, Dave. We need an angry carrot hoodie. According to Dr. Jace, the emissary wasn't fond of the design, but he didn't want to disappoint his parents. So whenever he wore this hoodie, he'd carry his backpack on his chest. Later, Dr. Jace bought him a dog-headed backpack, which made the emissary even more reluctant to wear it. Recently, the emissary got tall so quickly that he outgrew the clothes entirely. Jace slaps his thigh with laughter as he tells the story. Exasperated, Althea swats Jace. He just returned from the hunter's camp with injuries, but without even putting down his first aid kit, he'd already roughhousing with the children in the courtyard. Jace especially likes to tease Shubai, who can only sit and silently fume. He repeatedly tells himself that Dr. Jace is the emissary's father. He's the emissary's father. Thankfully, the emissary's personality is different from his father's. Shubai can feel how beloved the couple is in the local community. He meets a little girl wiping away tears. She says, "Grandma told me that Dr. Althea and Dr. Jace went to the market this morning to stock up for their next journey." They're not staying? It'd be nice if they did, but they're from doctors worldwide. They're only stationed here temporarily because of the sudden appearance of wanderers and their mission to mark off the no-hunt zone. Once the magnetic field stabilizes and this area is safe, they'll leave. There are people in other places who need them. Shubai understands to an extent. Sitting on a swing in the corner of the courtyard, he moves back and forth. He notices the leaves are more yellow as they fall onto his lap. Leaves return to their roots, and life ends. Shubai picks up a crisp fallen leaf. I don't like how we keep going back to cycles ending. Like, This is only chapter 3, and I know in the main storyline they're still alive, but my brain keeps going. And this is where Zayne's parents die tragically. Like, I don't understand. Just the way they keep setting this up. Bye, Shadow. I'm sorry. It's the way that's like, these are Are you kidding me? All the goddamn red flags? They're beloved. They're so sweet. They're kind. They're parents of a fucking protagonist. The leaves are changing color and everything ends and there are cycles. I know they're alive, but in this reading of this narrative as is, I swear to God, they're gonna die at the end of it. I know they're alive. I heard them on the phone call, but like everything in this right now is just setting me up for like, we're gonna get to the final chapter and they're dead. Like, we've just been hallucinating with their ghosts. I don't fucking know. The angst and dissipation, it's not my fault. All they need is for, look, all they need to do is describe Althea with a side ponytail and they're fucking dead. Like, I'm telling you. It's not my fault. I am media trained. Anime and TV shows and movies and books have taught me shit, okay? I've been traumatized by FMA. All anime, it's a loving mother. She has a side ponytail. Well, she gonna die. She gonna die. That's just how this works. Oh my God. I know they live, but the repeated mentions of things is just sending me. Okay. I'm back. I'm focused. I'm here. Shubai picks up a crisp fallen leaf. Time's passage, as described in books, is light when rolled between his fingers. It crumbles at the slightest touch. Now that transportation has resumed, Dr. Althea and Dr. Jace are preparing to depart. It's time for him to set off in search of the emissary of the divine. The distance from here to Lincoln City is vast. He needs to find the quickest route. The courtyard gate opens from the outside as the couple returns from shopping. Each carries several large bags of local specialties. For once, they aren't wearing their white coats. With sleeves rolled up, they cut pieces of colorful cardboard, fold them into perfect boxes, and place the item inside. It takes him a moment to realize that these must be what people call gifts. Nikki, I should have known you were going to clip that. Oh, we're on an ad break. You know what that means. Dance party. Look.
Emotional damage.
I'm just saying, I have been hurt before by narratives, and I am ready and prepared. Oh my gosh. Hydrate, everybody. The gifts prepared by Althea and Jace are neatly arranged. They're waiting to be wrapped. Althea smiles as she takes out her phone and starts a video call. Zayne, dear. Dad, Mom. So proper. Of course, my brain is just like, British accent. Not gonna even attempt that. The call quickly connects. Shubai watches quietly, gazing at the emissary's face on the screen, and feels as though he's seen it countless times before, yet somehow, this is also the first time. The emissary of the divine walks from the laboratory up to the corridor. He holds his phone and meticulously keeps his face centered in the frame with the same precision he applies to his research. Althea laughs. Hold up in the lab again? Your father and I bought some local specialties as gifts. As usual, you get to be the first one to pick your favorites before we give them to the other children. She turns the camera toward her husband, who enthusiastically showcasing each gift. The emissary's answer is exactly what Shubai expected. Any of them will do. Hey, Jace responds with a playfully scolding expression. How can you say that? Althea also looks at him tenderly. Zayne, everyone should have something they like the best. In the video, the emissary lowers his gaze. He appears to be considering something. Seconds pass before he offers his parents a faint smile and nods. Even after the call ends, Shubai remains puzzled. He has no favorites either. Every world's story is equally interesting, and every world's ending is the same. From a perspective that exists on a higher plane of existence, the one emotion he can never possess is preference. After dinner, Althea and Jace give the beautifully wrapped gifts to the children, who jump with excitement. Althea looks around and waves to Shubai, who has stepped aside. Shubai, come here. This is for you. I get one too? Shubai's mouth opens slightly in surprise. He doesn't belong here. Of course. Jace mimics Shubai's surprised expression. Smiling, he says, and since you're heading to Lincoln City to find someone, we prepared snacks and travel essentials for you. A raincoat, wet wipes, a power bank. Remember to change your forehead bandages regularly. We also asked a hunter who's returning to the Hunters Association to take you to Lincoln City. That way, we won't have to worry. He points to a backpack placed under the table nearby. The snacks and travel essentials he mentioned are actually a bag that's packed to the brim. Will it be too heavy? Concerned, Althea touches her chin. Not really. It's better to be fully prepared. Didn't we do the same for Zayne? Jace says cheerfully. Shubai catches the key word, and his eyes light up. Zayne used to travel this too? Yes, sometimes to visit us, sometimes to travel alone. When you go to Lincoln City, you might find this useful. As Althea speaks, she takes out a neatly folded map. Shubai unfolds it to see marked routes. There are detailed notes next to each stop with handwriting. That's elegant, yet steadfast. First, take the bus, then the plane, the light rail, walk 3 kilometers. Shubai murmurs to himself as he traces the route on his map. His eyes scan the printed information. Abbreviated place names, scale bars, shapes of regional boundaries, and the direction of every road. With the help of the handwritten notes, understanding the complex map is remarkably easy. He can instantly memorize the entire thing. Confused, Shubai points to the final section that involves traveling on foot. Wouldn't it be closer if you got off at the previous station? Why go 1 station further and then walk back? Because it's autumn, Althea smiles when she answers. Taking a detour from the next station lets you walk through a grove of blooming osmanthus trees? Osmanthus. Osmanthus. What is an osmanthus tree? And I'm butchering that. Osmanthus. Oh! Osmanthus tree. Sorry, Googling. I need the visual. Those little flowers. Oh, got it. Oh, that would be very pretty to see. Zayne's parents are so pure, they're gonna die so tragically. Golden blossoms with their faint fragrance as colors and scents that only belong to autumn. Not one puts these things on maps. This is the kind of beauty that's only known to those who have walked the path themselves. Is beauty really important? The osmanthus trees will eventually become bare. Shubai is more confused. Althea pauses for a moment and looks at her husband. Then they both laugh simultaneously. Zayne once said almost the exact same thing, Jace says somewhat wistfully. When he was little, the only time he ever came to us with a question about school was when his teachers commented that his narrative essay lacked emotion. We tried to help him figure it out, but he still couldn't understand. Then one day, he accidentally missed his stop, discovered the grove of osmanthus trees, and wrote about it in his essay, and earned an A+ for the first time. Huh? How could someone with a meticulous, flawless mind as the emissary miss a stop? And what did that have to do with beauty and emotion? Seeing Shubai's confusion, Althea doesn't continue to explain. She just gently strokes his hair and says, "During your trip to Lincoln City, you'll have the perfect opportunity to see for yourself." His parents are so precious. So precious. Sid's like, "Don't you manifest this in my house. They're going to live a long time. They're going to be a ton of grandchildren. You leave them alone, Mama." That's entirely what that reads like. Sorry, baby. I'm not trying to manifest it. Chapter 4. Falling Letters. Before departing, Shubai changes back into the clothes he arrived in and runs up to Althea. He places a note in her palm with handwriting like little sketches. "I asked the hunter about the proper format for an IOU. I'll repay you tenfold for all the expenses during my stay." Jace leans in to examine it. "Whoa, this isn't an IOU you should sign willy-nilly. But all the books I read say the one should repay a drop of kindness with a fountain of gratitude." Shubai recites earnestly. "When others are good to me, I should give them appropriate compensation so we don't owe each other anything. I calculated everything last night. You gave me ointment, snacks, the Angry Carrot hoodie, travel expenses to Lincoln City." Jace quickly interrupts him. "Why are you listing everything?" Althea's eyes crinkle with amusement as she takes out her pen, makes a few changes to the IOU, and hands it back to Shubai. "If you must satisfy your sense of fairness, then help us with something. The medical school isn't far from the grove. Could you please deliver Zayne's gift for us? Attached to the gift is a note that says the following: Dad and Mom's favorite will always be Zayne. Dear passengers, we are approaching Lincoln University. Those who are exiting at this stop, please prepare to disembark." As the train announcement resounds, Shubai is jolted awake. Looking out the window, he can see faint golden hues stretching into the distance. Getting off at this station will lead him to the emissary. Going to the stop after will take him to the edge of the grove of osmanthus trees, and he'll need to walk back 3 kilometers through the golden landscape. After autumn is winter. The most fundamental, inescapable truth of the world materializes as a real landscape in Shubai's mind for the first time. By then, the branches will be bare, people will wear thick coats, and snow will cover everything. But Shubai also knows that after countless cycles of wintry chill and summer heat, autumn harvest and winter dormancy, eventually, a world will exhaust its last bit of vitality for change. Spring will no longer bring forth new green. Thunderstorms will no longer roar, and there will be no more mothers growing old, nor children growing tall. When the last fallen leaf turns to soil, the emissary will appear. He will bring an end to that world without any hesitation. It'll be as nonchalant as brushing off a speck of dust from his shoulder. He did it for every world Shubai had read about in books. Did the emissary imagine it this way too? That every place he experiences will eventually become one he must destroy. Shubai recalls how before departing, he asked Althea why the emissary missed his stop. Her gentle sigh drifted away through the breeze. Early last autumn, we moved. The changing of seasons, even when written in vast, endless stories, would be glossed over in a single glance. They carry no emotion or meaning. Yet someone who never made mistakes was momentarily lost in thought and missed his stop. He walked into a grove of osmanthus trees he was never supposed to enter. What his pen recorded was autumn, and what was etched on paper was a farewell. Shichi, hidden in the backpack, lets out a small yelp. Shubai hurries just before the doors closed. Standing on the platform, he looks back one last time toward the direction of the grove of osmanthus trees. This journey ends here. His mission is to find the emissary of the divine, and he must remind himself of his duty, to let go of seasons destined for destruction and to never miss his stop again. Behind him, the train rushes past. Its melodious announcement gradually fades away. We look forward to seeing you again. I feel like I'd say, and here endeth the lesson. Hey, Ditch. I brought angst into this house. I did. I'm sorry, Sid. I love the bittersweetness of this. And it almost makes me wonder, had Shubai... I'm going to get my Robert Frost on. Actually, quick question. How many people actually know Robert Frost and the infamous Two Roads Diverged in a Yellow Wood? Otherwise known as The Road Not Taken. I'm curious. I think I still have it memorized. Let me see. So I think it's appropriate here given the golden hues and what's happening, and especially how this particular story ends. But it's called The Road Not Taken, and it's by Robert Frost. And if I remember, because I had to memorize it in elementary school, it's two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Oh my God, I still remember it! Thank you, Nikki. I feel that poem is very, very appropriate here as I allow me to roll out my English degree. I feel like that poem is very, very appropriate here and very, very appropriate for Shubai. Sliding doors. Yes, Stitch. It's absolutely giving sliding doors. It's one of my favorite poems, and it's one that I try to apply to my life a lot in terms of like the road not taken. Sometimes you have to take the road that nobody else is taking. But I feel like this was Shubai's road not taken moment. I really do. Oh my God, Nikki, did you really make the... They do. There are some poems that just stick in your head. Oh my God. Nikki actually made the Angry Carrot hoodie, everybody. So yeah, if you want to check out the Love and Chick Space merch shop, you too can have an Angry Carrot hoodie. I have to see this. Hold on. I have to see what you did. Where? Hold on. I have to get my texts. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, it's the Angry Carrot hoodie. Oh my God. Oh, bestie, I love you. I love you so much. Oh, it is glorious. It is glorious. You all have to check that out. It's adorable. The Angry Carrot hoodie is adorable. But yes, I feel like this was Shubai's sliding door moment, the road not taken moment. And I wonder what Shubai would have felt or how it would affect him going forward in the story had he gone to the next stop. I think he would have a better understanding of the current emissary. Let me rephrase. I think he'd have a better understanding of Zayne. He understands the emissary. He does not understand Zayne. That's the difference. And had he gone through the grove, he might. Well, good news. Nobody died in that one. So we're doing good. We're doing great. Nobody died in that one. I may have manifested a little angst, but that's fine. It was preemptive angst. I was just trying to get ahead of it. I wanted the story to be contrary. But I think it's lovely that we, one, get to see Zayne's parents. We get to learn a little bit more about Zayne. Death Zero, livestream 1. Nikki did a great job. That carrot is flawless. Like, I love it. All right. Now we're on to bucket list. And I am... Apparently we are Lemurian. This is a Raf-based story. Let's see how we do. Yes. So bucket list, chapter 1, an atypical Lemurian. Few will notice Aiden among the students at Verona Middle School. After all, he's ordinary to the extreme. Mediocre grades, average looks, and a personality that could be called introverted. In short, he blends in seamlessly among human students. Of course, certain moments are an exception. Aiden looks up from the dessert photo album. Yeah. Aiden looks up from the dessert photo album he's holding. A row of faces is crowded around him. Suddenly he feels like his tongue is in a twist. Me? Are you talking about me? The club performance they've been preparing for all semester is just around the corner, but The student who was supposed to lead the song is hospitalized with a stomach bug. Frantic, the teacher tries to come up with what he thinks is a brilliant idea. Everyone knows Aiden's family are musicians. His family runs the music store on Central Street. I heard his dad playing the piano and singing when I walked past the store. His grandpa's humming sounds amazing too. Wow, that means he must be learning through examples since he was little. Aiden's singing must be better than most. Before Aiden could speak, he's swept up by the crowd and hustled backstage with an energy he's never seen before. We're counting on you. The microphone finally lands in his hands after 3 tries. The stage lights haven't even been turned on yet, but Aiden's face is already red. His family does run a music store. His father and mother are skilled with many instruments, and his grandfather does enjoy humming a few tunes while repairing instruments, but he's tone deaf. I know, this is, what do you call it? Rap. I don't think so. Slam poetry would be more accurate. But we need him to sing. Aiden wants to tell them that he isn't human and not like them. I'm gonna take a sip. But once he thinks about it, his statement isn't really accurate. He doesn't seem like a Lemurian either. He's a disaster in the world of art. His swimming can only be called not drowning. And he's half human. This is Aiden's secret. Over a decade ago, when Lemuria suffered from a great catastrophe, an adventurous human girl saved his grandfather and father. Later on, she became his grandfather's daughter-in-law, his father's wife, and eventually Aiden's mother. They say the greater the genetic distance, the stronger the advantages of species diversity. But in Aiden's case, it seems like he got some genetic bug that activated recessive genes. Aiden has no artistic talent and no courage to see life as an open wilderness. This gradually became a grievance that exists only in Aiden's heart. It slowly evolved into a small instance of rebellion. I don't care that I'm unlike other Lemurians. Bye, May. Instead of heading to music class as he should, he stands before a holographic banner that reads, Desert Life, Eridan. He imagines the sensation of his feet sinking into quicksand. This is another one of Aiden's secrets. As a half Lemurian who has to soak in the bathtub almost every day, he has always had a desire to see the desert, not dessert. I've been saying dessert this entire time. Well, that changed the story entirely. Let me go back to the top. Oh my god. Look, we just read a Zayne story. My brain was programmed for macaroons. Like, it just naturally flowed. Of course we're reading about desserts. That's exactly what we're doing. Let's try this again. Instead of heading to music class as he should, he stands before a holographic banner that reads, Desert Life, Eridan. He imagines the sensation of his feet sinking into quicksand. This is another one of Aiden's secrets. As a half Lemurian who has to soak in the bathtub almost every day, he has always had a desire to see the desert. Maybe it's out of curiosity, or maybe it's because the desert, like the ocean depths his father spoke of, is a place strange and distant to him. And comparing to swimming, he always preferred building sand sculptures on the beach. Aiden looks down at his restless toes, but still decides to go to tutoring. Adventurous spirit? What's that? It doesn't exist. His relationship with the desert lecture is a tragic story of a fish falling in love with a bird, or a rebellious tale of a fish leaving the desert. There's no good ending either way. As he turns around, he spots a familiar figure at the entrance of the classroom. Grandfather? He tries to come up with reasons for why he'd be here. Aiden figures grandfather wants to catch him skipping class. Aiden immediately turns to leave, but he hasn't taken more than a few steps before he's pulled back. Grandfather? I'll go to class now. His grandfather, who has always been steadfast and composed, pulls him into the classroom. Aiden has no idea what he'll say next. Don't tell your dad. He doesn't know I snuck out. So that's interesting. He has to get into a tub every day. I mean, that makes sense, Lemurian. But MC before she knows he's Lemurian. Hey, Raph, why is there a tub in each of your rooms? Raph, no reason. Nothing to see here. Zayne is everywhere, Sid. It's not my fault. Also, it's not my fault that English is that lovely language that spells words exactly the same that are not even related. Dessert and desert. It just depends on where you're going to put your emphasis, and it's spelled exactly the same way. Oh my god. And I'm a native English speaker. I would love 2 desserts. Baby, that requires me to be able to spell, and I've never been able to spell. I suck at spelling. And if it comes down to a single difference of an S, my comment still holds about English. Right, thank you, Dolores. The S's don't matter. My brain just combines them. Oh my god. Chapter 2. 1. Learn about the desert. Unlike Aiden, his grandfather is a striking old man who stands out among humans and Lemurians. In Lemuria, he's renowned far and wide in the underwater singing circles for his exceptionally outstanding voice. After the catastrophe, some chose to live as hermits, and others lived in hatred. But grandfather chose to hide his brilliance and disappear into the crowd of humanity. He just wants to survive. He dutifully runs a music store. When his son chose that brave human girl, he only wanted his son to be happy. After Aiden became old enough to understand the world, grandfather taught him that the first rule of survival on land is vigilance. As he slowly approaches the end of his life, he should be peacefully living in his final days, while resting in bed as per the doctor's orders. But here he is, having snuck out against medical advice. Grandfather pulls him into a seat. Aiden fidgets as if 2 sea urchins are under him and turns to look at the old man. He's staring at the podium and listening. He shows no feeling of guilt for sneaking out. In today's lesson, we'll mainly be discussing the mindsets of erudites. Oh, hell. Ondulo and Huluen are their lifelong pursuits. I'm so sorry. Exactly, I'm here for literature, not grammar. Oh god, the vowel shift in English. And I say this as someone who taught English. And I'm still a damn good English teacher, which is funny as hell, but I can't spell for the life of me. Oh god. Is this that moment where I call Nikki so she can just like insert the correct spell, even the correct saying of the word? Nikki, no. You have to figure it out yourself. I appreciate the tough love, honey. So yeah, Ondulo and Huluen are their lifelong pursuits. If I'm missaying that, blessings, my apologies. As close as we're gonna get, kids. Grandfather hums along with the lyrics. Then he immediately leans toward Aiden. What do they mean? Adventure and freedom. She explained it twice already. Ah, yes, I'm getting old. It's normal for me to be forgetful. Does anyone remember what these lyrics mean? The teacher at the podium asks. Before Aiden can react, Grandfather suddenly shoots up like a fish and instantly catches the attention of the entire classroom. Everyone waits for this confident old man to answer, but the air grows thick with silence. After a few seconds of blankly staring, his grandfather leans toward Aiden again. What was it again? Of course. Having expected Grandfather's forgetfulness, Aiden slips him the answer. Then, with a voice that's energetic and earnest, his grandfather brings the vast, distant desert into the classroom. Watching his grandfather acknowledge the audience, Aiden feels as if he's meeting him for the first time. Setting aside the fact that he should never have ignored the doctor's orders, left the bathtub, and snuck out of the house, whenever he had to attend public gatherings in the past, he would always repeatedly remind Aiden to not draw attention and only do what you're supposed to do. It's the complete opposite of what he's doing now. Leaving the classroom, Aiden prepares a list of questions, but all of them are answered by 2 words. Bucket list? Grandfather mysteriously pulls a crumpled piece of paper from his pocket. It looks like it's been folded and unfolded countless times. The words at the top of the page strikingly stand out. These are all the things I've always wanted to do, but I never got the chance. I can't wait any longer. As if to prove the lecture's message about adventure and freedom, his grandfather prepares to run away from home at the end of his life. Bucket list. Number 1. Learn about the desert. Done. A long time ago, when I was your age, I wanted to explore the desert. His grandfather leans in. I heard Araduts are incredibly brave. They even treat their gods like a dish to be served. The doctor said you need to spend at least 20 hours a day soaking in the bathtub. Why should I rush? There'll be plenty of time to sleep in the ocean after the sea moon ceremony. Mom and Dad will worry. I already talked to your mother. She'll deal with your father. The only condition is that you have to accompany me. How long will we be gone? When are we coming back? Why are you thinking about going home before we leave? That should be my last wish. Aiden's grandfather walks ahead with his backpack. His steps are as determined as a dream-chasing teenager's. Time for a sip of water. All right, children, we have another ad break that's about to hit. And for this ad break, I declare a mukbang. Let's see how high you can get Gremlin in the next minute and 30 seconds. 'Tis my challenge to you. And while you do that, I will play the song of our people. For those who wish to dance, party. Oh my god, guys. Don't forget the day's special is milkshake. We're still trying to unlock that one if you feel that is in your budget. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off your keyboards, kids. That's the end of the mukbang. Let's see how you did. As I let as everything catches up. Hold on. It's catching up. Like, it's just the scroller is going nuts. Oh, we almost got him to level 39. Nicely done. Nicely done, children. That sound is going to be going for a while. He is. He is almost 40. He's almost to the end of level 39 and he's almost 40. I'm very proud of him. We're doing so well, kids. Look at him. He's just like munch, 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 munch. He's so cute. So delicious. All right. I'm going to take a quick moment because I know that Nikki's revenge has been redeemed while all those notifications. Oh, hello. Hi. I was not emotionally prepared. We're going to flip to some battling while all those notifications are catching up so that I can redeem some Nikki's revenge that both Charter and Miss did. So let's go into the Deep Space Trials. I'll go into the open orbit. Oh lord, they're both. All right, let's try this one. I need more green cards. Oh, wait, no. Xavier, baby. Ah, that's what I wanted to do. Please hold. Let's get him up to level 80 really quick. I love the music from this banner so much. There we go. Alright, next battle. Let us see how I do. I don't know.
Past sins must be punished. Due order.
Pay attention to its moves.
It was just a scratch.
Watch out. It's trying to take you down with it.
You won't escape.
Death claims you twice.
There we go.
Your fate has been sealed.
I shall be the judge.
The enemies are weak. Now's our chance. Pay attention to its moves.
Everlasting night.
Time for slaughter.
For sinners.
There shall be no mercy.
Keep up the momentum. Watch out. It's getting back up.
Your fate has been sealed.
I shall be the judge.
The enemies are weak. Now's our chance.
Bring it on. Eat this.
Step back.
Life and death, hand in hand. All must die.
Heed the king's words.
God, the animations are so pretty.
Sever.
Watch out. It's getting back up.
Your fate has been sealed.
I shall be the judge.
The enemies are weak. Now's our chance. Watch out. It's getting back up.
Your fate has been sealed.
I shall be the judge.
The enemies are weak. Now's our chance.
For sinners,
There shall be no mercy.
you won't escape everlasting night.
Time for slaughter.
Watch out. It's getting back up.
Be reduced to ashes.
The enemies are weak. Now's our chance. End it.
Death claims you twice.
I'll show you. Your fate has been sealed.
I shall be the judge.
The enemies are weak. Now's our chance.
Life and death, hand in hand. All must die.
Heed the king's words.
Sever.
Step back.
For sinners,
Watch out. It's getting back up.
Defeat. Exit. If you want to know how to actually play these lovely things properly, we have battle guides that Nikki made because she knows exactly what she's doing. So check out Nikki's battle guides if you want to know how to actually play these characters, as opposed to this auto battle girly who's like, I'm in it for the lulz. Let's try something different. Let's come over here. Lord, those notifications are still going, and it's cracking me up. All right, let's make sure everybody's equipped. Check our teams. Who do we got? Fabulous. All right, here is the second one. I've been really bad at doing my open orbits. Also, I think I need you for this one.
It
Might have gotten
doesn't
stuck.
smell appetizing.
this one's worthy of your attention.
This is a warm-up, my lady. I guess it's
God,
gonna
every time
fight
she
dirty.
says my lady, like,
You
yes.
can command me.
Roll around.
Go back, taste our bloodlust.
Then perish. It's your time to shine.
Bring it on.
If we're covered, be careful.
Taste our bloodlust.
Then perish. It's your time to shine. I guess it's gonna fight dirty.
You won't escape.
Through blood
Chop, chop.
and bond. We're halfway there.
You won't take this. We're covered already? How tiresome.
Listen to fate's dying echo.
That's not what I
Summon
wanted to click.
death's shadow.
That was an accident. But
Now,
it's still pretty.
fall into infernal abyss.
My turn.
I thirst for blood.
I summon you. Sylus, taste our bloodlust.
Then perish. It's your time to shine. Be careful. Don't let it hit you.
Eat this. Bring it on.
If we're covered, be careful. It's a small gift.
Everyone who receives you, taste our bloodlust.
Then perish. It's your time to shine. It's time to meet your mate.
Chop,
Through
chop.
blood and bond. It's charging.
My turn.
If we're covered, be careful.
Let the blood feast begin.
Together, we descend. I guess it's gonna
Power of
fight,
the king
Taste our
compels you, bitch.
bloodlust.
then perish.
Why are you staring at me?
The blood on your mouth is
Yay.
lovely.
Please do not hydrate Gremlin any further. I'm trying to get the notifications to catch up. Like, all I hear in my head is notifications. It's great.
Past sins must be punished. Due order.
Do they?
Your fate has
okay.
been sealed.
I shall be the
Down.
judge.
The gravity here is stronger, and you'll be pulled in more frequently. Be on the lookout.
Oh. We want...
Yeah, I think you're glowing. Watch out. I am not afraid.
What?
Your fate has been sealed.
I shall be the judge.
The enemies are weak. Now's our chance.
For sinners.
Flowers.
There shall be no mercy.
Nope, I'm just, I had some battle redemptions that I had to make sure I do so I don't forget, and then we'll
Watch out.
continue the
It's
story.
getting back up.
Because we did a mukbang,
Your
and,
fate has been sealed.
I shall be the judge.
Overloaded
Enemies
my
are weak.
OBS.
Now's our chance.
Down you
Don't
go,
worry.
bitch.
We'll get another shot. It's time to end it.
Life and death, hand in hand. All must
We'll be back
die.
to the stories as
Heed
soon as
the
I finish
king's
this.
words.
Sever.
End it. Watch out. It's getting back up.
This one?
Be careful not to get hit.
Go back to the pit you came from.
I'm not even looking at
resonate
chat,
now.
but I can hear Nikki
Alright, let's
screaming
destroy
at
it
me.
together.
Another.
Your fate has been sealed.
I shall be the judge.
Come over here and stand next to me. Yeah, I think you're glowing.
Got it.
For
Flowers.
sinners.
There shall be no mercy.
Are you okay?
Uh-huh.
I was just...
You should pay.
Your fate has been sealed.
I shall be the judge.
The enemies are weak. Now's our chance.
My turn.
Death claims you twice.
Steady now. We can do this.
Press your shields.
You
Come
Oh,
over here
Nikki's
and stand
probably
next to me.
dying in the chat. I can hear her now. Did you not
Yeah,
watch
I
any
think
of
you're
my
glowing.
tutorials? Do this thing and
Be
the
careful
other
not to get hit.
thing. Grab that thing.
Your fate has been sealed.
I shall be the judge.
The enemies are weak. Now's our chance.
Life and death, hand in hand. All must die.
Heed the king's words.
Sever.
Everlasting night.
Time for slaughter.
I did it. God, I did it. Yeah, we're in the area where you actually need to know what you're doing. Anyway, back to the story. Bucket list. And I'll do another one towards the end. At the moment, I want to make sure we get through the stories that I intended. Okay, here we go. Back into the stories. We're on Bucket List, Chapter 3. I know, don't you love the difference between Dark Knight and Xavier? There shall be no mercy. Baby, if you want to come over here for a second, like, just hang up over here. I love the contrast. I really do, in their voice lines. All right, bucket list. Number 2, skydiving. All Lemurians are afraid of heights. Even as Aiden says this, Grandfather's face shows no signs of fear. Aren't you curious? What kind of world could we see by jumping down from here? The city outside the cabin door looks like a miniature model. Aiden looks calm, but he quietly gulps. Are you ready? Their instructors are shouting. 3, 2, 1. The moment they leave the helicopter, Aiden's ears ring briefly. He's hearing his restored by his grandfather screaming. The instructor warned them to keep their mouths shut during the jump. The wind is so fast that once you open your mouth, you won't be able to close it for the rest of the fall. But looking at grandfather screaming one moment and laughing heartily the next, he seems to have never considered that. Grandfather has always been quiet. He's always sitting behind the store counter and hiding most of his body without saying a word. He walks down the most inconspicuous streets and says nothing. Even when hurried vendors bump into him, he makes himself the most ordinary person among humans. But now, he's the noisiest bird in the sky. Aiden sees him gesture to the instructor. Accompanied by fading laughter, his grandfather suddenly spirals away. Then he spirals back again after a short while. He's like a bird that has just gained ownership of the sky. He eagerly savors a realm he's never experienced before. What does it feel like when birds fly? It's just one jump. Aiden grits his teeth and tentatively spreads his arms. He tries to feel the wind like his grandfather. This experience brings him so many sensations that even fear takes a back seat. When his feet touch solid ground again, Aiden feels reluctant to let it go. Bucket list. Number 2. Skydiving. Done. Bye, Nikki. I've never heard wind like that before. It's already over. But his grandfather is still holding on to the instructor and chatting away. The wind is so free up there. It has a pitch melody and dynamics. You heard it too, right? Aiden feels like grandfather is becoming less like the old Lemurian in his memory. But does it matter? Aiden remembers the pain of sitting through sightseeing classes. He never quite grasped the concept, no matter how hard he listened. He remembers the excitement and the anticipation when imagining himself skipping class to attend desert lectures. He realizes that Lemurians don't have to be a certain way. His grandfather can be a Lemurian, a human, a bird, or even a sea buckthorn standing against the desert wind and possessing another kind of possibility amid roughness and aridity. Aiden sifts through his thoughts and pulls out the word he feels describes his grandfather the best right now. Selfish? Self-centered? Free? While his current life experience isn't enough to understand the true meaning of this word, he knows that birds that possess the sky are free. So sea creatures that possess the sky are, of course, even more so. Chapter 4. 3. Go to Eridum. At the final stop of their journey, they arrive in the expanse of yellow sand, and naturally their first stop is a local restaurant. In a crowded rest stop amid Eridum's yellow sand, an old man, a child, and a man sit around a table. They're carrying bags and packs of various sizes, but Aiden and his grandfather don't know the Eridum locals sharing their table. It's just that the restaurant is full, and by the time they realize what's happening, the stranger has already put down his backpack. He's sitting across from them. You're not locals. The erudite lowers his head and eats for a while. Then he looks up and gives the two a quick once-over. Are you runaways too? Two? A lot of people run away from home, either from here or to here. Whether they're leaving or arriving, they always eat at this place. As they talk, dishes are served one after another. Aiden suspects this erudite has ordered the entire menu, or he's close to achieving it. Do you want to try some? It's my treat. I'll be leaving soon anyway. A lot of what you ordered are dishes that specifically rip off tourists. This is the real local specialty. Every dish in this restaurant has a story. The erudite introduces them one by one. Like this, that, and this. The dish here is called Deity's Temptation. It has the longest history. It's the last dish our god ate before running away. Aiden's mind spins as he barely manages to follow what the erudite is saying. Now he's even more confused. Your god ran away? I heard about it from my great-great-grandfather. They used to worship the man who led them to survive in the desert. They made him their god until one day he ran away. The Erudite winks mysteriously. And then they worshipped him even more. He was brave. That's why we have so many people who are inspired to leave the desert and pursue their own goals. After all, it's the desert. When the wind blows, it looks one way today and completely different tomorrow. Their god ran away? Grandfather still looks incredulous as the two of them follow the trail deeper into the desert. He carries the takeout container with the unfinished deity's temptation. Grandfather, do you think their god was also getting old, so he made a bucket list and ran away to fulfill it? That makes sense. His grandfather murmurs. He was born in the desert, yearned for the world beyond, and had to bear so many responsibilities through his life. But in his final days, he still decided to be true to himself. Aiden thinks this is similar to his grandfather's story. Dad said that when grandfather was young, he ran away to the surface world because he was curious and yearned for the unknown. However, after the disaster, survivors had no choice but to reclaim their Lemurian identity. For the sake of their family's survival, they had to maintain a certain dignity and vigilance. It was difficult to be true to themselves. It's possible that in the final moments of his life, grandfather is determined to fulfill his small desires and create a beautiful ending to his life story. Oh my god, Mad Kitty! Thank you for becoming a member! Thank you so much. His bucket list would probably be the opposite of mine. For example, it would include having a seafood feast. Aiden thinks for a moment. Would he want to see the legendary Lemurians? His grandfather adds, swimming. There would be something about swimming in the world's largest pool. What's the largest pool? I've never been there. It's our home, Lemuria, the sea. The two of them speculate about this god's thoughts. Compared to a real god, Aiden thinks the Outerim god in his people's eyes is more like a person who is also freer. Aiden also thinks about the Lemurian sea god, but instead of calling him the sea god or his quintessence, Aiden prefers to call him Rafayel. Grandfather, will the sea god have a bucket list? His quintessence has a very, very long lifespan. Think of him as basically being immortal. Aiden understood. At the end of this journey, Aiden isn't happy after learning that the sea god is immortal. His feelings become more complicated. If the sea god doesn't die, wouldn't that mean he'll never have a bucket list? And so he'll never have the opportunity to be himself like the Eridim god and his grandfather? This is a really cute story. Also tragic, but cute. Bye, Sid. Thanks for hanging out. Chapter 5. 52, and I think that's Hertz is the short, HZ. This is Aiden's first time attending the Sea Moon ceremony. Oh, now we get to cry. Got it. In the middle of the night, the distant sea and sky blend into one blue expanse. When the moon reaches the highest point in the sky, he watches as his people guide his grandfather toward the deep sea. The sea god stands at the very front, his back to his people, his head slightly turned. He sings softly amid the sound of waves. Between the rise and fall of the melody, Rafayel weaves the transitions between minor and major keys perfectly. There isn't a lot of sadness and a bit of freedom in present. He sings perfectly for Aiden's grandfather, who finally became himself at the end. They say a song is forged by the composer and the performer. This is his grandfather's final work, a song about being himself. The composer already told his story, but what about the performer? Immortality, overwhelming strength. Aiden heard that the sea god is strong. He can lead the Lemurians back to Lemuria. But in his eyes, he's just a man who loves to paint, excels in many art forms, and is interesting and fun to be around. He's not ordinary. Yet he's also not that different. He could be like his grandfather. He can laugh freely and choose to become a Lemurian, a human, a bird, or even a sea buckthorn in the desert. He can give his desires to that most important blue. The song flows beautifully, but Aiden cannot see the singer's expression. Aiden hopes that one day he'll have more stories about himself, not just as the sea god, but also as Rafayel. This is a beautiful, bittersweet story. Okay. So now we have Beyond Survival. I'm going to take a sip of water. Everybody hydrate. I will take the last hit from my smoothie. Okay. Chapter 1. The Art of Survival. After spending years on Earth, Meyer still hasn't shaken a certain habit. Wow. Where did my brain go on that? Why a rabbit, of all things? Why a rabbit? Y'all, have your brain ever done something like you're just going, why did my brain see that? Let's try again, and let's see if I can actually read the words on the page while my brain does something funny. After spending years on Earth, Meyer still hasn't shaken a certain habit. Whenever the doorbell rings, his muscles tense and he slips into battle readiness. As an astral enforcer, he learned that a bell usually means trouble, a warning before things go sideways. It could mean you need to perform an emergency warp to dodge cosmic radiation, or your warp coordinates suddenly shift, and you'll be flung into uncharted space. Sometimes it means the number one fugitive on his list, Sylus, shows up in exactly the wrong stretch of the galaxy. When the criminal who had vanished for a long time appeared, almost within reach, Meyer didn't hesitate. He followed Sylus to Earth, a place where a bell can mean more than just danger. Restarting data protocol. Please wait. Meyer puts the repaired power core back into the mechanical sentinel's eye socket. These machines, custom built to hunt Sylus, stand silent beside his workbench. Ever since the failed ambush in the N-109 zone, he's been studying ways to enhance their capabilities. The doorbell continues to ring as Meyer draws the curtain to conceal everything. Through the peephole, he spots a familiar face. Mr. Lopez, male, 48, lives alone. He's the owner of the hardware store down the street. The shop opens at 9:10 a.m. Monday through Thursday. He visits the climbing gym across the street at 8 p.m. Friday through Sunday. His climbing skills remain at the beginner level, but he spends at least 15 minutes chatting with the climbing gym's female owner. Statistical analysis shows a 66.7% chance he ends conversations with "good night" and a 33.3% chance of "see you tomorrow." He lives next door. Earthings would say he and Mr. Lopez are neighbors. On Philos, Meyer never met his neighbors. People kept their distance and avoided close relationships with anyone. This even applied to blood relatives. On his first day as an astral enforcer, he was taught that desire and emotions are primitive human flaws that only hinder Philos' new humans from advancing. So when it comes to someone stopping by for no apparent reason, Meyer has already drawn his conclusion. This Earthling is acting abnormally, and he must have ulterior motives for approaching him. A colleague, a rival, or one of Silas's underlings. Perhaps the climbing gym around the corner served as his intel exchange location. Either way, he's nothing but trouble. With 3 security chains on the door, Meyer conceals a pocket pistol behind his back and slightly opens the door. Hey Meyer, sorry to bother you again. Furrowed brows, fidgeting hands, Meyer has thoroughly internalized an Earthling behavior analysis manual. He quickly assesses his neighbor's psychological state. 3 parts nervousness, 3 parts awkwardness, and 3 parts ulterior motives. As for the remaining parts, noticing the peculiar pink flush creeping up from his neighbor's ears, Meyer frowns. This Earthling has never shown signs of shyness in front of him before. His neighbor mumbles, "Excuse me," then he holds up a heart-shaped LED sign. There's a small problem with this thing, and I can't find my reading glasses. I was wondering if you could fix it. Staring at the flickering low and the dim E on the sign, Meyer quickly lists possible uses for the LED sign. Given how simple his neighbor's daily routine is and how he knows very few people, there can only be one possibility. You want to give this to someone at the climbing gym. Oh, the neighbor clutches the door frame as the redness from his ears spreads across his face. Chapter 2, Passion and Desire. Yes, I will take a sip of water. Oh, Winter, I put my phone in the fridge. I put my purse in the fridge once, and neither Nikki nor Vex have ever let me forget it. To be fair, I put my keys in the fridge on Cantaloupe once. Usually when I'm stressed out, things appear in the fridge that do not belong there because my brain is just like, woo! And now when I lose things, everybody immediately goes, "Did you check the fridge?" But seriously, no, because the purse, look, here's the thing with the purse. I was putting away groceries and stuff, but also wanted to take something out of the fridge to make space, and I was holding my purse. So I took the thing out of the fridge, but put my purse in as a replacement, and then proceeded to deal with the rest of the groceries and never took my purse out of the fridge. Oh God, the pan. Yes, I found the pan. I found my pan. I'm still not telling anybody where I found the pan. I refuse. I absolutely refuse. No, we're not. I'm not telling anybody where that pan. No, nobody gets to know. Nikki doesn't get to know. Vex doesn't get to know. The only people who know are me and Binks ain't talking. God, I love it. Where was the pan, Mama? Where was the pan? Where did you put the pan? Nope. That secret's going to my grave. Oh, Lord. Okay. Chapter 2, Passion and Desire. After removing the E from the sign, Meyer determines that some of the LED bulbs have short-circuited. Her birthday is next Sunday. I plan to order a cake in advance and then take this sign to the gym to meet her. His neighbor rambles on about his confession plans. I'm not exaggerating, but she's the most beautiful person at the gym. Whenever I go, I spot her immediately. She has more energy than anyone else. While focused on repairing the LED bulbs, Meyer spares a thought for the woman his neighbor keeps mentioning. Female, 53, lives alone. She's the owner of the climbing gym around the corner. Significantly older than 99% of the gym's members, yet possesses superior physical fitness. The only person at that gym who could complete a V10 climbing route. No, I can't order a cake. The neighbor suddenly shakes his head. She's cutting back on sugar lately. It's 30% gym, 70% diet. Maybe I should make her a beef tartare instead? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. You know, I love this. He wants to confess, and he's like, but wait. She's on her goals. Let me make her a beef tartare. Let her get her protein goals in. I love a supportive person. That's just Perfect. So cute. He nods only to shake his head again moments later. I'm still hesitant about going. She has a great personality with so many friends. I'm just one of the most ordinary among them. Seemingly dissatisfied with himself, he looks a little dejected. Meyer, do you think she'll accept my feelings? The room falls silent. On Earth, a confession might mark the beginning of a relationship or toll the death knell for a crush. The very concept is interwoven with countless stories, but in the harsh Philosian laws, these sorts of confessions are explicitly prohibited. Crushes, admiration, and romantic love are condemned as grave sins, and jurisprudence is cold and absolute. Emotions are poisonous seeds of desire. Once they germinate, they allow the flaws buried deep within one's genes to corrode the soul's purity and ignite the fires of chaos. They're just like the most dangerous interstellar fugitive, Sylus, the man Meyer has spent his entire life hunting. Meyer offers no answer because discussing such matters could send him to a space-time prison. He'll end up as an astral enforcer who was promoted to a temporal inmate. It's fixed. That was quick. His neighbor immediately steps forward and turns on the sign. The 4 letters flash an alternating garish light. Great! I'm sure she'll be happy to see this. When she encourages those young people worn down by daily grind, she holds up a sign that says, "Once more, with feeling." Meyer thinks the climbing gym owner will smile from just seeing his neighbor show up. Objectively speaking, anyway. Thanks, Meyer. However, just as Meyer is about to usher him out, the neighbor clings to the doorframe. By the way, I've noticed how you're always by yourself. Wouldn't you like some comp? Before his neighbor can finish, Meyer hastily says goodbye and closes the door. Compared to useless emotional entanglements, he has more important matters to attend to as an astral enforcer. Back behind the curtain, Meyer tests the masked Sentinel's power core once more. With a final low hum, these weapons designed specifically to counter Sylus enter combat mode. 3 days ago, Meyer learned that Sylus is planning a major operation next week. The rumors were wildly exaggerated. There was talk of strikes and taking all 4 in one go. Whatever it was, it appeared he was heading to Lincoln City for something monumental. After working around the clock for 3 days, Meyer upgraded the power cores of these weapons. Now, they await the opportunity to face Sylus once again. At present, Meyer sits at his workbench. Pen in hand, he analyzes the possible motives behind Sylus's actions. Number 1, Hunting Day's new round at the nest. Number 2, the Hunters Association's recent movements. Speaking of the Hunters Association, Meyer recalls the ambush at the N109 zone. Back then, there was a girl beside Sylus, someone Meyer spotted near the Hunters Association. Meyer narrows his eyes. After another round of rigorous analysis, he crosses out the newly written item on the list. 3, that girl. After all, Sylus is a fiend who constantly plots strikes and moves that can take all 4 in one go. Even if it involves her, it's just another one of Sylus's strategies to achieve his goals. There is a fucking dirty joke here, and I'm not gonna make it. But also, you know this take 4 all in one go is gonna be some fucking innocuous thing that got overly exaggerated because of Luke and Kieran. How much you want to bet? Like, it's fucking Chubby Bunny and he's putting marshmallows in his mouth. He's gonna take 4 in one go. And Luke and Kieran are telling this story and somebody overhears it and it turns into something completely like, he's gonna take out all these, he's gonna kill all these people, take out these heads of things, and it's just, that's not what's happening. It's not what's happening. It's really not. Sylus owns the gym. Mad Kitty, I don't know if I can take all 4 in one go, but I am damn well willing to try and find out. Let my harem show up. I'll figure it out. Ugh. Oh my god, Miss. Miss is in here writing enemies to lovers with Meyer and Sylus. I love it. Meyer's like, emotions are bad. And Sylus is like, let me show you how good emotions can be. Oh, dear God. Right? It's his honey-do list. Like, it's something really innocuous that Luke and Kieran purposely overblew with rumors. Oh my god. Okay. Chapter 3. Insight. 1 week later, at the border between the N109 zone and Lincoln's Imperial Ring District, a motorcycle speeds past. Dark figures crouching in the bushes silently transform into shadows trailing behind him. Meanwhile, Myers sits in a cafe and monitors everything remotely. The Nest, the Hunters Association, he's already positioned surveillance devices at every possible destination Sylus might visit. This ensures he can be intercepted no matter where he goes. However, he's watching Sylus make an unexpected detour to a beverage shop. Is this to throw off any surveillance? Meyer continues to stare at the screen. 5 minutes later, Sylus emerges with 2 cups of milk tea. Was he just thirsty? But why buy 2 drinks? Perhaps he's heading to an intel exchange location first? Meyer watches as Sylus stops in front of a vintage vinyl record store. A quarter of an hour later, he walks out with an elegantly packaged box containing a record. Records? It seems to be an ancient medium that Earthlings use to store music. Meyer has reached a conclusion. This must be a new intel exchange location. After all, the record store is in a strategic position as it sits on the border between the N109 zone and Lincoln City. It's ideal for recruiting new factions from this gray zone. Just as he's getting a clear view of the record Sylus is holding, a target suddenly stops beside his motorcycle. Meyer's breath stops for a second as Sylus makes eye contact with him. 3 seconds later, Sylus looks away. Continuing his silent observation, Meyer's palms are already clammy. Sylus didn't do anything, but what was that about? Has he been compromised? Sylus starts his motorcycle while a masked sentinel is surrounded by curious pedestrians. It paces back and forth, trying to leave the crowd, but the onlookers are more curious. Hey, these mechanical components are intricate. Look at the joint movements and bionic structure. I heard Ever was about to release a new generation of caretaker AI. Is this it? Cyber elder care is a win for everyone. That face needs a redo, though. It's too dark and gives me the creeps. Meyer's head starts to hurt. Exploratory desire and curiosity, emotions equally forbidden in Philos, are now allowing him to truly understand their detrimental effects. They obstruct objectives and desecrate order. Although using suppression tactics against civilians doesn't align with his usual approach, it's a necessary price to pay for hunting Sylus right now. Clear the area. Meyer issues the command without any hesitation. 3 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes. Nothing happens except for a remote surveillance feed going black. As the crowd disperses, sweat forms on Meyer's temples. He hurriedly activates the backup power supply. He restores the real-time surveillance feed to assess the situation and checks the power core, but he's still too late. Staring at the motionless masked sentinel, Meyer grits his teeth. The Power Core's combat module was destroyed 3 minutes and 5 seconds ago. After convulsing briefly, the Sentinel collapses to the ground. Whoa, it dances? Why is it lying down now? Oh, it's broken. Boring. Let's go. Through the gaps in the dispersing crowd, Meyer spots a motorcycle heading toward Lincoln Tower. A black crow circles overhead and lets out a shrill caw in Meyer's direction. Then the bird departs with its master. Meyer slams his coffee cup on the table and follows them. Chalk up one for Mephisto! That's my good boy. It is. It is so easy to forget that Sylus is a spaceman. Like, I get reminded of it in this story. Like, oh, that's right. He came here from, you know, insert space here. Chapter 4. Earth-Shattering Crisis. Inside the mall, parents carry their children. Friends walk side by side, and everyone moves casually. Their gazes never linger on strangers for more than a second. Meyer begins to doubt himself. Where was the transaction? The armed confrontation? Has Sylus spotted him and changed destinations at the last minute? Then he catches sight of that figure again at the escalator. After checking the arsenal stuffed in his pockets countless times, Meyer cautiously follows. Hugging the wall, he arrives at his destination, the entrance of Twinkle Toys, limited time pop-up store. 10 meters away, Meyer finally detects vigilance and seriousness on Sylus's face, except it's directed at a claw machine. The hunter girl stands beside him. She's not wearing her sleek battle uniform today. Instead, she's hugging a fluffy, sunny dino while staring intently at the claw machine in front of her. The girl says something to Sylus. He responds with a slight smile before bending down to insert a token into the claw machine. The lights flash as the machinery charges. Sylus grips the joystick, moves the claw, and presses the button in one fluid motion. He gets nothing. Another token goes into the claw machine. Meyer notices thin whiffs of black-red mist swirling around the claw. That's Sylus's evol, which is powerful enough to devastate an entire planet. When he sees this evol being used, Meyer reaches for the weapon in his pocket. But the most dramatic thing that happens next is the plushie falling as the claw moves. It's followed by the claw machine emitting a sound effect to signify failure. After a third unsuccessful attempt, Meyer catches a glimpse of something small and fleeting on Sylus's face. A flash of defiance and a heartbreak. Oh my god! An earth-shaking revelation strikes him. If his colleagues find out that this fugitive, legendary for committing atrocities without batting an eye, can make such an expression at a claw machine on Earth, who knows how many more interstellar horror stories beginning with Sylus would proliferate. Meyer watches as the girl gives Sylus a playful poke. She's seemingly gloating about the rare plushie she clawed out earlier. Sylus says nothing. He lowers his gaze, raises his hand, and gently flicks her forehead. Meyer recognizes an emotion on their faces. It's the same one he saw on his neighbor's face during his weekend visit to the climbing gym. So the strikes in the intel are actually about a pop-up store? Taking all 4 in one go meant getting 4 different colored plushies? And the major operation is actually a date? Meyer remains confused. Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh. So good. I told you it was going to be innocuous. The colorful plushies lie inside the claw machine, and they seemingly mock Meyer and all his preparations. He pulled out all the stops to counter this fugitive's evil, and his target used his evil on a mall's claw machine? The girl goes to the counter to buy more tokens. Meanwhile, Meyer feels the intense sensation of being watched. He sees Sylus stroll toward his hiding place. In his left hand, he still carries the 2 unfinished cups of milk tea, while his right hand reaches toward his pants pocket. Of course, everything had been part of Sylus's disguise. Now he's finally revealing his true intentions. Stepping back, Meyer quickly adopts a defensive stance, his mind running through countless possibilities of what weapon Sylus might pull out. As beads of sweat form on his temples, he feels a mixture of thrill and trepidation unlike anything he's experienced before. Unlike the red dot marked Sylus on the interstellar map and the figure seen through a monitor, it's a face-to-face showdown. 10 meters, 5 meters, 3 meters. Sylus pulls out a coin. He holds the coin between 2 fingers. Sylus tosses the coin. A microbomb disguised as a coin? A regional mind control device? Or is it a listening device? Meyer ducks and rolls, but before he can congratulate himself on dodging the attack, something hits his right knee. Pain and numbness shoot through him. He's forced to fall to his knees. The culprit is a token bearing the Twinkle Toys logo. It spins on the ground. To be exact, it spins in the spot where he once stood. It's untouched by anything else. Frozen in a pose more ridiculous than most plushies, Meyer watches as Sylus turns and walks away. He returns to the girl's side. He hasn't said a word throughout the entire encounter, as if he was disturbed by someone insignificant. He just sent a warning. Whoever it was should take the hint and choose another day to visit, or it won't just be a token flying their way. With the masked sentinel no longer by his side, Meyer feels there's no need to continue. Sylus's schedule today revolved around a single concept: a date. The banner with "Big News" at the dessert counter catches his eye. In the past, Meyer would have scoffed. How could this possibly count as big news? Physical pleasures are more trivial than a speck of dust, but now his mind is blank. This fruitless pursuit finally made Meyer realize something. He never truly understood this earth. Where to eat, what to wear, and what games to play are considered matters of great importance. Naturally, he also never understood Sylus, the man who chose to become a fiend while destroying and leaving Philos behind. He rejected everything it stood for. Chapter 5, Way of Life. I'm going to take a drink, and we're going to have a dance break. Dance, my children, dance. The entire time Meyer is doing this is what I'm singing in my head.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die.
But like, I love how it's describing him trying to get this plushie to show off to MC and failing so horribly. And I wish it was animated so that I could clip it and then I could play this over it.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Like, it's just, all he wants to do is show off for his girl so bad. It's just not working out at all. Oh, Sylus in Way of the House Husband would be amazing. Absolutely flawless. 10 out of 10. I'd watch the hell out of that. Okay. Chapter 5. Way of Life. After giving up the pursuit, Meyer returns to the record store and purchases the same vinyl record as Sylus. He hopes to gain new intel about Sylus from it. By becoming more familiar with his opponent, he'll gain an advantage for his next operation. However, once the record is brought home, he discovers that the second-hand record player he acquired is broken. The same man who remains composed when facing lethal weapons is at a loss before a turntable that won't spin properly. After repeatedly searching for fixes and failing to find one, Meyer finally knocks on his neighbor's door. He vaguely recalls that the man had a record player tucked in the corner of his hardware store. It's an easy fix. The neighbor enters Meyer's apartment and begins tinkering with the record player. Looking at the climbing chalk that still lingers on his neighbor's hands, Meyer remembers that the man planned to confess his feelings at the climbing gym yesterday. Did she smile when she saw your light display? Meyer asks. Huh? Oh, that. Before he continues, the needle falls and classical music gently fills the air. There's no intel as Meyer had hoped. It's an ordinary record, and the soft melody is unlike anything from Philos. I gave her the beef tartare, but I left the sign at home, the neighbor says while patting his somewhat soft limbs. I'm not quite there yet. At least, I should wait until I can climb V10 with her. That would probably increase my chances. She has lots of friends, and others look at her with the same gaze as yours. Someone else might confess to her while you wait. If she accepts someone else's confession, it means she likes them too. The neighbor rubs the fabric of his pants and gazes out the window. He's looking at the street corner. Isn't that wonderful? When the person you like also feels the same. That's the best thing in the world. You don't want to have her? Where did you learn that phrase? It's not about having her. It's about being with her. Living together and dreaming of a future together, but I want her to be happy, joyful, fulfilled. That's more important. Lord, if more people felt this way with their crushes, we would be in such a better place. Like, too many people get a crush on someone and it's like, that's mine. I have a crush on him, therefore they belong to me. I hate that trope. You see it in narratives a lot, and you see it in real life too, but you see it, I think, overly played in narratives and stories. This is something Meyer didn't expect. Loving her made me fall in love with rock climbing, the neighbor says. He made himself at home on Meyer's couch, Meyer's sofa. My weight loss is starting to show results, and my high blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol are going down. Falling in love with a wonderful person is beautiful in itself. As for whether we end up together, well, you can't force these things. According to Philos' doctrine, a person in love would be governed by their greed, selfishness, and desires. It'd lead them to possess the other person and take endlessly. They'll forever be trapped in a downward spiral with no escape. How could such a person say something like, you can't force these things? Meyer is lost in thought when his neighbor pats his shoulder, and he snaps back to reality. It's okay. Even if she's not in my future, I can always drag you along as my friend to go rock climbing. The record spins as classical music flows gently through the room. After several seconds pass, Meyer finally releases his grip on the pocket pistol in his right hand, switches on the safety, and quietly hides it behind the sofa. Perhaps this is Earth's basic etiquette for treating a friend. When he sets down the gun, Meyer feels something unusual stir within him. Listening to his neighbor, he's struck by a sudden urge to share his own inexperience in tracking Sylus. This impulse immediately confuses him. It serves no functional purpose. It's completely meaningless and can even expose his identity. But if he imagined himself as an Earthling, perhaps this is what his neighbor called friendship, this desire to share the Earthlings possessed. Meyer has finally turned into the same wavelength as Earthlings. They don't view possession as love's ultimate goal. They have another interpretation, being not concerned with outcomes, but with how it makes them better people. In Earthlings' eyes, having desires isn't foolish. Being controlled by those desires is what led to ruin. Here, some are governed by their desires. Others master them. and a few treat desire as a spice. Others master them, and a few treat desire as a spice of life for finding purpose. They gave a new name to the state of having just enough desires. They call it living. Eating, drinking, enjoying life, the everyday necessities of life, these are the things that truly matter to the people on Earth. They even have a more appealing name for these perfectly balanced desires. Aspirations. What's this? The neighbor rolls over on the sofa when he pulls out a fluffy plushie from under him. His expression cycles through several emotions. Meyer doesn't know how to explain himself because it's a plushie he got with that token the other day. He can't articulate the reason why. Maybe he wanted to check and see if there was something unusual about the plushies Sylus obtained. Or maybe he had developed that earthling desire to snatch toys from the claw machine. Meyer feels it's time to study the act of living. Since Sylus has chosen Earth, he would need to adopt the Earthling's ways to know his enemy as well as himself. Listening to the gentle music and having a simple friendship, Meyer experiences the most peaceful rest he has had since arriving on Earth. I love the twists and turns of this story. Like, the quiet corruption. And this is why Sylus is called a fiend. The quiet corruption of being exposed. Ms., everybody is trying to figure out their ways. And I love that you're trying to figure out your own ways for relationships. And I think someone I want to coexist with in Cuddles is a perfectly fine definition for what you want out of a relationship. Cuddles are critical, in my opinion. I'm afraid I can't have a relationship with someone that I can't cuddle with. Just my rules, which is excellent because all my digital harem are excellent cuddlers. All right, kids. We're on to story 24. Crease. Gideon! Oh my god, yay. Okay. Chapter 1, Daily Circle. The notification sounds from Daily Circle are continuous. Gideon stares at his phone and springs up from his chair. I didn't change a single word except the title. How can their reactions be different? Patrick, who's been changing into his uniform, nudges Gideon back down with his arm. I told you, the guy in your lower bunk is what brings all the traffic to Daily Circle. 2 days ago, at midnight, Patrick returned from an emergency mission. He held up fresh ingredients in front of Caleb while asking for a late-night meal. Their dorm quickly became a hub, with other boys showing up with bowls in hand. Many colleagues from neighboring dorms were drawn in by the aroma, but the chicken wings Patrick brought back weren't enough. Gideon rolled his eyes and told everyone to follow his account. My heart soars on Daily Circle. It's the DAA's internal forum. That's where he regularly shares the dorm's secret recipes. Then he politely closed the door. After leaving the final chicken wing bone spotless, Gideon, for the upteenth time, makes a declaration. I have a feeling this post will go viral. Then, he tapped the send button with confidence. 2 days later, he achieved a grand total of 2 replies and 3 likes. I told you, if you change Dormitory Confessions to DAA Heartthrob, your notifications will blow up. Why won't you believe me? Whenever he wanted to look up stuff like making ginger taste good or removing the bitterness from bitter melon, we acted as his guinea pigs since we were university students. Do you want the clicks or the credits? Faced with Patrick's soul-searching question, Gideon blinks and opens the edit page. If I hesitate for a second, it'd be disrespectful to myself. If I choose the clicks, I might go viral. If I choose the credit, I'll be second place at best compared to him. Send. A chuckle drifts over from the nearby lower bunk. Gideon is about to question why he sounded sarcastic, wondering if it's because the top 3 spots are held by the same person, when notifications start appearing. Huge pancake tunnel. I scrolled past this before without really looking, but once I saw DAA Heartthrob, I got excited. I didn't know OP is the DAA Heartthrob's roommate. My heart soars, OP, reply. If you're excited, you can get in some extra training. Midnight Melancholy Keyboard. The DAA Heartthrob posted a new recipe. Check it out. At Happy Morning Mouse, at Afternoon Crazy Screen, at Evening Graphics Card. My heart soars, OP, reply. I'm the one who posted it. Look at the ID. Midnight Melancholy Keyboard. Anomalies in the Deepspace tunnel are more frequent this year. When we're busy, we can't make it to the dining hall during business hours. Luckily, I followed the DAA Heartthrob's advice and bought a 4-in-1 multi-cooker that fries, boils, braises, and deep fries. Now, I can always have a hot meal. My heart soars, OP replies. I'm the one who posted the link. Can't carry anymore. What caught my attention is that you can actually ask the dining hall for ingredients. I've been going to the East District supermarket to buy frozen stuff this whole time. Great Rock reply. I know, right? Your DAA Heartthrob has high standards for cooking. He won't accept anything but fresh ingredients. I don't know how he does it, but he can charm Weber from the kitchen with just a few words. Can't carry any more replies. Is Weber the bald guy from the East District's dining hall? I want to try it too. My heart soars, replies. Let me give you some advice. Don't mention hair around Weber. 21 carat star diamond. A pilot who can't cook isn't a good boyfriend, I'm learning. When I'm on leave next time, I'll show off my skills to my girlfriend. Sword-wielding scholar replies, we know, get lost. Our DAA Heartthrob at Paper Apple is better than you. He's just thinking about his DAA colleagues' stomachs. My heart soars, replies, but I'm the one thinking about you guys? Paper Apple replies, I'm mostly thinking about Miss Apple. 21 Carat Star Diamond replies, the DAA Heartthrob appeared! Sword-wielding scholar replies, got it. One has a girlfriend and another has someone special. Both have precious people at home, unlike the lonely single people like me and OP. My Heartstar replies, why are you dragging me into this? This is so good. Oh my god, poor Gideon. I feel so bad for Gideon. Oh my god. You don't have anything else to do, Gideon? Patrick refreshes the comments section in real time. You're replying to every comment. That's nothing compared to the DAA Heartthrob. He only picks the one he wants to reply to. Gideon scoffs, grabbing a pillow from his chair and hurling it toward the bed. The pillow is suspended in midair before floating over to gently smack Gideon's face. Let's go. The awards ceremony is about to start. Patrick adjusts his uniform in the mirror. Then he helps straighten the back part of Gideon's collar. Caleb gives sword-wielding scholar a like before unhurriedly sitting up from his bed. There's not even one wrinkle on his clothes. After the ceremony ends, the three walk down from the podium shoulder to shoulder. They're high-spirited amid thunderous applause. Chapter 2. Poor Gideon. DAA Heartthrob. Since university, Gideon has watched his buddy Caleb rise from class heartthrob to faculty heartthrob to school heartthrob. Now he's become the Deep Space Aviation Administration's heartthrob. Back in school, being called a heartthrob only required an outstandingly handsome face, but that rule doesn't apply at DAA. Since the deep space tunnel can easily leave people battered beyond recognition, good looks are the most useless thing of all. And everyone at DAA was once a top graduate from an aerospace academy. When they put on their new uniforms, proud, determined faces are everywhere. Each person believes that they're the bird that can fly the farthest. During their second month of the job, the detection data brought back from patrols showed strange fluctuation values. Conspiracy theories began surfacing on Daily Circle, and they grew more outlandish with each retelling. Whether spies had infiltrated DAA or the Deep Space Tunnel was about to collapse, it had the markings of the most significant DAA crisis that people had seen in decades. The more popular post directly mentioned Paper Apple. It hoped that DAA Heartthrob would step forward to provide a comprehensive analysis on the patrol data. With countless replies and endless calls for his response, the DAA Heartthrob's silence was deafening. Meanwhile, someone discovered that Paper Apple had started a new thread in the forums section, Plastic Model Enthusiast. He shared his latest PG model acquisition and posted real-time assembly updates. His relaxed attitude was conspicuously obvious. When he finished assembling the left leg of the model, someone finally asked him in the comments about his thoughts on the patrol data. His only reply, minor issue. The passionate user wasn't pleased. They tried to argue with him using elaborate references and citations and said he was practically leading DAA toward irreversible ruin. After going back and forth for over 10 posts, Paper Apple finally responded with, "Thanks for bumping the thread." Fuck Caleb. When he finished assembling the right leg of the model, the data returned to normal. DAA issued a mission briefing stating that Caleb had completed the mission perfectly. He brought back a protocore, which was the culprit behind the previous data anomalies. The Wanderer had been moving through the deep space tunnel while staying close to the back of the aircraft. It was able to control its own energy to blend into the magnetic field, so it was very difficult to detect. The rumors fell apart on their own. Daily Circle's newly crowned spam post king, My Heart Soars, described the mission details more vividly and dramatically. The conclusion ended with a pointed remark. Caleb resolved it in less than 10 minutes, so it wouldn't have led to DAA's decade-defining crisis. A certain user got so angry that they dejectedly sent Paper Apple one final message before deleting their account. "You should thank Caleb." Insert probably a lot of swear words and a mean thing there. He is, he's a nerd, and I love it. I love his nerdy ass with his model collection, and we said it in this first season. I think we clocked Caleb as a Warhammer person in like episode 3 of season 1. 2 or 3, I can't remember, but Nikki and I totally clocked his ass. He would play Warhammer. He would do anything that involves models and stuff, and I love that for him. I absolutely love it for him. It's glorious. Nerds are hot, Iris. I never said otherwise. Raph would absolutely paint their models and turn them into art. It'd be great. I'd love that. The inappropriate words were automatically censored by the system and replaced with heart icons. This amusing incident spread among colleagues who knew that Caleb was Paper Apple. Everyone started jokingly calling him the DAA Heartthrob, which caught on. I figured it out. There are 3 things the newcomers must do now. First, they need to install Daily Circle and become addicted like me. At this point, Gideon pauses and puts on the demeanor of a former coach. He shakes his head thoughtfully before saying, after scrolling through the featured posts on Daily Circle, they need to wonder why the DAA Heartthrob is called the DAA Heartthrob. What about the third thing? Patrick asks. The forever enthusiastic forum members must rush in to explain the whole story and drag Crisis Guy out for another round of roasting. Gideon never gets tired of telling that story, and the atmosphere in the break room lightened considerably thanks to this shared memory. The new mission is extremely dangerous, and DAA doesn't have enough pilots who are capable of completing it. The pressure distributed amongst them has increased dramatically. A few of them have been working around the clock for several days without sleep or rest, and after this extremely brief respite, they'll have to take off again. Even Caleb, who's recognized as having superhuman endurance, shows faint shadows of fatigue beneath his eyelashes after continuous high-intensity navigation. After livening up the atmosphere, Gideon sits down and pats Caleb on the shoulder. "You're still holding up?" Caleb snaps back to reality, puts away his precious necklace, and smiles brightly. "Of course, I still need to go home this weekend." Gideon gives him a thumbs up. At the time, he never would have imagined that Paper Apple's model assembly real-time updates would forever remain on a page showing scattered parts. Chapter 3. Assessment Guide. His phone chimes with Daily Circle's distinctive notification sound. Gideon taps the screen and glances at, "Your post featured DAA Heartthrob's hacks. Hurry, sign up for Charwood's Deepspace Tunnel Emergency Combat Assessment has received a new comment." Thud. Gideon slams the phone face down on the table, swallowing the dining hall's stir fry is difficult. Patrick, who's sitting across from him, gives him a look. "Someone replied to it again? If it gets too bad, delete the post. Out of sight, out of mind." "That won't do," Gideon forces himself to smile. "This is my best in Daily Circle. It even set a record. If it's gone, it'd be a waste." Patrick says nothing and unlocks his phone to find that post with the unbeatable record for reply count. Featured. DAA's Heartthrob hacks. Hurry, sign up for Charwood's Deep Space Tunnel Emergency Combat Assessment. My heart soars posted in subsection Daily Progress. Today, he's wearing a pink shirt under his uniform jacket. It's the one his wife gave him as an anniversary gift. It represents his mood today. Sunny. This is the only chance to get full marks for trainee impressions aside from achieving a perfect score of 90 on the written exam. Trust me. The post originated from a casual dorm chat. The mid-year assessment for the first-year DAA recruits is a nightmarish hurdle that strikes fear into everyone's hearts. Passing the evaluation undoubtedly requires extremely solid technical skills and professional competency. And Charwood has incredibly strict requirements for pilots' personal conduct and flying habits. Even with expertise, scoring above 90 is still wishful thinking. But Gideon made a casual remark. There has to be some kind of trick to it, right? He rolled up the DAA's test papers into a makeshift microphone and pointed it at Caleb. Say something, pretty boy with a perfect score. Caleb was concentrating on painting his model and didn't even look up. Technical skills are what really matter. Gideon shrugged. An hour later, the first exam strategy post appeared in Daily Circle's featured section. Starting with the main post's seemingly ridiculous pink shirt rumors, the comments section became packed with valuable intel. For direct advice, it cut to the chase and shared encrypted study packages, which rescued people from desperate situations. As for the most subtle hints, it figured out different instructors' grading preferences and discreetly offered the most appealing solutions. Any new developments about the DAA assessments could be uncovered here, and it remained relevant year after year. Someone even tagged Charwood in the post. Everyone thought he'd ask for it to be deleted, but unexpectedly his reply revealed a hint of pride between the lines. No one understands DAA more thoroughly than he does. Charwood's reply was pinned by the administrator, and under his response, Patrick sees the latest comment that made Gideon's phone buzz. Charwood retired. When will the DAA Heartthrob update his guide? At Paper Apple. Did everyone get Chapter 4, Drifting Away. Did everyone get recommended this article? Solitude posted in subsection Horizon's Embrace. Link, the truth behind the Far Space Fleet's reform. At first glance, it seems to clear up our relationship with the Far Space Fleet. But upon getting a closer look, it sort of has that vibe of tearing down one to build up another. What's with the comments about the far space fleet reaching a deep space tunnel depth that exceeds the DAA's, and it possesses stronger cruising and combat abilities? So close, so beautiful. Posts. I won't comment on the latter half. We haven't talked to any far space fleet personnel, but the first half is true. Deep Space in my heart replies, you're siding with outsiders. So close _, so beautiful replies, you can't judge everything based on the depth they reach. We have different philosophies. DAA's most important duty will always be to protect the land beneath the sky, not to advance without any principles. Echo. I was confused as soon as I opened this thread. Isn't this section supposed to be for a casual chat? Southern Clouds reply, people are free to discuss whatever they want. Doesn't DAA promote openness and freedom? There's nothing wrong with chatting about the far space fleet. Momo replies, how could anyone from DAA put on a friendly face toward them? There are tons of citizens who don't understand what's going on. They think the citywide restrictions and protocol cleanup operations are our doing. No meaningless socializing replies, we could never pull that off. We fly a little too far and the control tower starts issuing warnings. Confrontation _winner. True, we could never pull that off. Soon their detection depth and research progress will leave us in the dust. Protocol technology is trending lately. Strictly following traditions will only make us fall behind. Echo replies, ? Leave this thread and take another look at the forum rules. Or recite the oath you took when you joined DAA. Face deep space with reverence. Look back at Earth with the responsibility to protect and hold reverence for the universe. Have you forgotten it? Too lazy to reply, ironically replies, this article mentioned it too. The Far Space Fleet's newly appointed colonel is mysterious. No one knows his background. Those disturbances in Skyhaven recently were his doing, right? I wonder what his attitude toward DAA will be. Riot replies, what more do we need to know? Since he joined the Far Space Fleet, it proves one thing. He has no reverence for deep space and no attachment to Earth. That's why you turned down the Far Space Fleet's offer, because of your attachment to Earth? Pretty much. My most admired senior from university worked here after graduation. They say his go-to excuse for turning down unnecessary social gatherings was always needing to eat dinner at home. I trust someone who values family that much. Hey, who is it? Did you see him at today's oath ceremony? No, he was probably out on a mission. I'm several years behind him in school, and he doesn't even know me. During his days at the Aerospace Academy, everyone would run over to watch whenever it was his turn for test flights. Talk about beautiful flying. Clear, bright voices of 3 newcomers drift from the auditorium as they discuss their motivations for joining DAA. Gideon and Patrick happen to pass by, and the young recruits immediately straighten their postures, pull their shoulders back, and respectfully salute. Gideon, sir. Patrick, sir. The 2 nod, and the 3 recruits walk away for a while before relaxing and laughing. They wrap their arms around each other. Patrick squints as he watches their retreating figures. Then he looks back at the platform where he once stood together with Gideon and Caleb. If he were still here, only one of us could have been an instructor. Would we have to wait this long then? Gideon's quick response catches Patrick off guard. You've already made peace with it over the weekend? Gideon recalls the day that has come and gone. After saying goodbye to that girl, he and Caleb fell into an unspoken silence while sitting on the Colium Express back to Skyhaven. It's as if their previous friendliness and laughter in front of her had been an act of reassurance. Caleb still looked the same, yet he somehow felt like a stranger to Gideon. He had so many words bottled up that he wanted to express, but when the train passed by the sunset, shadows fell on Caleb. In the end, Gideon couldn't say anything. Yeah, I've made peace with it. Gideon has taken one step out of the auditorium and sunlight falls on him. I never thought the 3 of us would split up. Looking back now, the fact that he walked this far with us is the real surprise. Chapter 5, Different Horizons. I feel so bad for Gideon. Oh, Laquan sent a star. Thank you. This patrol follows standard protocol. Probe the shallow deep space tunnel layers and report back on the latest terrestrial magnetic field conditions. After giving the team one final rundown of their mission objectives, Gideon notices a junior colleague in the corner. He barely made it through his probationary period, and his nervousness is written all over his face. He grins and reassuringly pats his colleague's shoulders. It gets easier after a few missions. We've all been there. The junior nods. Whether from excessive nerves or something else, he begins positioning his limbs at specific angles in a series of strange poses. What are you doing? What kind of technique is that? Gideon's face scrunches up, his bewilderment evident. These are some of the most common model poses from the DAA Heartthrob's post. They say doing them before a mission gets you his protective blessing. Gideon is about to say something when the overhead announcement reminds them that it's time to depart. With an unreadable smile, he mimics the junior's pose. The team bursts out laughing, and their steps are noticeably lighter as they head out. At the entrance of the Deep Space Tunnel, the DAA's patrol briefly crosses path with the Far Space Fleet as they glide through their respective airspaces. Gideon navigates with his trainer aircraft, his gaze fixed on the warship at the front of the Far Space Fleet where the newly appointed colonel is. They used to joke about the future, and they imagined that if they both end up as instructors at the Deep Space Aviation Administration, heading toward the same destination, they'd compete to see whose students could fly better and faster. Now, DAA carries research data towards Earth, while the Far Space Fleet pushes deeper into the unknown regions of the Deep Space Tunnel. They pass each other and go their separate ways. Gideon! Oh, my heart! Oh, my heart! God damn it. Well, thank you for the butterfly. Let's see. Okay. Do I have time to do the last story? I think I do. Okay. All right, we're going to power through. We're going to do the last story, Light into Dust. And then I'm going to have to call it. I hope you've been enjoying the stream thus far. I have been enjoying the stories. The Crease hurt my heart, I'm not gonna lie. That story is very bittersweet. Okay, here we go. Light into Dust. Chapter 1. Invitation. The endless bickering floods Isaiah's ears, which throws off his sword. He despises being interrupted when he's trying to focus. He furrows his brow and sheaths his blade. Today's self-imposed training has been cut short. He walks toward the source of the commotion. At the entrance to the training grounds, two groups are in the middle of a confrontation. On one side, a handful of unremarkable students stand. Commoners. On the other, there's that insufferable young Marquis Isaiah finds the most annoying. He's flanked by his dim-witted lackeys. With the order of the Lightseeker selection ceremony fast approaching, there's unrest at every turn. We reserved this space in advance and followed the appropriate procedure. What gives you the right to take it from us? The young man leading the commoners clenches his fist. Procedure? The young Marquis adjusts his bracer with lazy indifference. That exists to ensure efficiency, and right now the most efficient approach is to allocate resources to those who are most likely to be chosen. He steps forward, his followers surging behind him. After all, no amount of effort can bridge the gap between bloodlines. And yes, I will for the moment, remark that it can be said as Marquis or Marquess. I hate the sound of Marquess. It just pisses me off emotionally. So I will say a Marquis. And Charter, to whom am I fixing? Because Isaiah, we can fix Isaiah. Isaiah has Tsundere written all over him. Like, Isaiah just needs a few pets and some positive reinforcement, and he would melt like butter. Just a little Pavlovian training, he'll be fine. But this other dude needs to be punched in the face, because it's very clear this young Marquis has never been punched in the face before. The young man's face flushes with anger, and his chest heaves. Isaiah approaches. When their gazes meet, a flicker of hope crosses the commoner's expression. In Austria Knight Academy, few don't recognize this royal, known for his arrogance and sharp tongue. More importantly, his status grants him the authority to settle this dispute. Faced with Isaiah, the young Marquis immediately plasters on a warm smile. It's not a significant matter. Surely it's nothing noteworthy. Isaiah ignores him and walks toward the commoners. He doesn't even bother distinguishing one from another. He pulls an envelope stamped with his family's crest from his coat and holds it between two fingers to the young man in the front. Passes to the outer hall. Isaiah's voice is cool, his tone unquestionable. Take them. My father is hosting a banquet. You can try your luck there. To him, this is a more efficient exchange of value than squabbling over training grounds. A chance ordinary students could only dream of. For him, it's a trivial gift, traded for immediate peace and quiet. The students freeze. The young man at the front stares at the gold-embossed envelope, his face a war of humiliation and hesitation. The young Marquis grins. He opens his mouth to flatter, but Isaiah's attention has already drifted elsewhere. Two tall figures are approaching from the opposite direction. Xavier was clearly pulled away from his training. The sword in his hand still gleams with a cold silver light. Confused, Jeremiah walks beside him, and he's craning his neck at the group of students. You're not training? Didn't you say someone took your spot? So you asked me to fetch the prefect? Isaiah has always found this curly-haired commoner annoying, especially when he talks too much and forgets his place. Oh, Isaiah. With everything I read, I just ship you and Jeremiah more. Oh, Isaiah has middle child syndrome. Don't you mistake it. Don't you mistake it. Xavier. The students latch onto Xavier like a lifeline. They hurry behind him and their voices brim with indignation. We reserved the training grounds first and followed the rules. They just appeared and took it. Is that so? Xavier doesn't acknowledge Isaiah. Instead, his gaze settles on the young Marquis standing behind him. The young Marquis has been on edge as soon as Xavier appeared. His smile freezes, and the atmosphere is heavy. The training grounds belong to the royal family. Why would anyone need to make a reservation? Xavier's gaze calmly sweeps over everyone. Then he raises his hand, and a soft yet solid screen of light materializes over the entrance. It reveals the access restriction protocols. On the screen's surface, the time slot the students had reserved glows and shows it has yet to expire. The training grounds systems are well maintained. Your eyesight must be poor if you couldn't read it. Xavier regards the young Marquis with aloofness. Can you see it now? I see it. As the cheering commoners crowd around Xavier, he never once glances in Isaiah's direction. It's an omission that feels deliberate. Maintaining his haughty composure, Isaiah grits his teeth and swallows his resentment. Ignoring Jeremiah, he steps forward and presents Xavier with a more exquisite invitation. Perfect timing. This saves me from the trouble of asking that junior of yours. My father insisted the invitation be delivered personally to your highness. Jeremiah rolls his eyes when Isaiah opens his mouth. Isaiah notices it and shoots him a glare. The curly-haired commoner is being rude again. The fact that Xavier keeps such company is utterly beneath his station. How considerate of you, Xavier says. The banquet conflicts with my training schedule. I won't be attending. He turns to Jeremiah with easygoing familiarity. Let's head back. All right. Jeremiah falls into step beside him without missing a beat. The two walk away shoulder to shoulder, their strides perfectly matched. Fragments of their conversation about the selection are carried back on the wind. Isaiah remains rooted in place, the rejected invitation crumpled in his grip. So is anybody else getting Draco Malfoy vibes from Isaiah? And, you know, Harry Potter and Weasley just fucking walked away? This is absolutely that moment. Like, Isaiah is so desperate to be accepted, and he doesn't understand how, because he wasn't raised to understand how. He is merely doing as he has been raised to be. And Xavier, like, he just doesn't understand how to connect, because the way Xavier views everything is so antithetical to everything he was taught. And he doesn't have the tools, and he doesn't have the guidelines or references to achieve what he wants to achieve. Isaiah just wants to be friends, and he has no idea how to do that. None whatsoever. He deeply, Isaiah admires Xavier and doesn't know how to handle that because of his own inferiority complex. He, as far as I'm concerned, is absolutely attracted to Jeremiah, but doesn't know what to do with that because of the status difference. But that's my own personal headcanon. But absolutely, Jeremiah and Isaiah, now fucking kiss. Like, I ship those two so hard, it's not even funny. Chapter 2, Choice. Xavier truly regards Jeremiah as his equal, a commoner. Their retreating figures moving in perfect sync, hanging like an unspoken answer beyond the borders of the world Isaiah has always upheld. It's impossible to explain, impossible to ignore. Days pass, yet each memory only sharpens the image. During his solitary training sessions, Isaiah's swordwork falters uncharacteristically. When his blade trembles, what he cannot suppress is something deeper, an instinctive, gnawing unease. Xavier, the future king of Philos, repeatedly strays from the world he was born to lead, and Jeremiah serves as the most glaring point of reference. He's an insignificant commoner who dares to covet a place in the order of the Lightseekers. Being a knight means carrying the weight of one's bloodline and duty. Its meaning and its honor aren't to be taken lightly. Isaiah will show Xavier the proper path. Those truly qualified to walk beside him are those born to shoulder the future of Philos, not some happenstance companion who happened to fall into step. Beneath the holy sword of the goddess, Isaiah levels his blade at Jeremiah. I shall be the one to test your qualifications. Isaiah, third-year student of House Starhunters, son of the senior counselor of the Royal Council, and member of the royal family, formally challenges you to an honorable duel. The words have barely left his lips before his blade flashes like lightning. He doesn't wait for Jeremiah's response. Jeremiah's hand flies to his hilt and meets the strike with equal intensity. The exchange is swift and fierce. Relentless, sharp steel resounds. The duel doesn't last long. Isaiah's swordsmanship proves to be superior. Years of elite training were forged into strict precision and cutting grace. 10 moves in, he exploits a minute opening and sends Jeremiah's weapon spitting from his grip. He brings his blade to hover at his opponent's throat. Isaiah lifts his chin, pride radiating from every ounce of his movements. The murmurs of astonishment rise around him exactly as anticipated. Yes, this is what it should feel like. Isaiah senses his blade has finally stopped trembling. Jeremiah exhales slowly and concedes without pretense. I lost. Isaiah sheaths his blade and looks past Jeremiah. With barely concealed expectations, he seeks Xavier in the crowd. Look, this is the clearest proof of the Order of Lightseekers he believes in. There can only be strength, technique, and the resolve to claim victory at any cost. The gap these concepts create is the most irrefutable evidence of the values he holds sacred. But Xavier doesn't meet his gaze. He walks past Isaiah, picks up the fallen sword, and places it in Jeremiah's hands as though he witnessed an unremarkable sparring match between peers. Jeremiah accepts it, and the frustration of defeat quickly gives way to his usual easygoing manner. The pride on Isaiah's face freezes. The shadow of the holy sword slants across the ground and swallows him in cold darkness. He won. Yet, the bond he fought so hard to sever remains untouched. The measuring stick he devoted everything to proving, the one he uses to judge one's worth, means nothing in Xavier's eyes. 3. Backtracker's Diary. Petals spiral down from the treetops and slip silently between the open pages of a diary. One second. There we go. It chronicles what must be the countless springs since the backtracking began. The author's emotions spiraled out of control as he wrote, the handwriting growing increasingly erratic and messy. The diary was abandoned in a fit of spite. It's as though he buried a memory. A man sits beneath the tree and reads it. He's quiet and focused. Although he occasionally pauses, his gaze lingers on a particular phrase, as if weighing something. His fingertips trace the Philosian noble crest embossed on the cover. He appears gaunt and pale from the side. When Xavier announces our departure, the weight in my chest finally settled. I kept my expression under control lest some foolish commoner catch me off guard. Even after all those long months of preparation underground, I still can't get used to being around my supposed teammates. It was the same in the beginning. When Xavier told me about Operation Backtrack, I took it as a sign that he finally realized what sort of person was qualified to intervene in the fate of Philos. And then, I followed him into the secret base only for a mechanical sugar glider to fly at me. It was singing. That's when I discovered this team was more motley than I imagined. Aside from a handful of noble scions I could tolerate, the ones with actual skill, the rest were commoners Xavier scraped together from who knows where. None of them met the minimum standard of value required to participate in Operation Backtrack. When I confronted Xavier about it, he blinked and said every team member has something unique about them. If you ask me, Xavier has been blinded by his own evil. Hal gave me this diary as an apology for the sugar gliders attacking my face. He said he taught it to sing. Apparently it chirps, "You can do it," for a moral boost sometimes, but he typically uses it to log data inside the ship. These backtrackers work outside humanity's comprehension. Whenever another potential warp point is ruled out, the mood in our group worsens. The only thing that stays consistent is that mechanical sugar glider as it flies and sings. Since we started backtracking, we've squandered too much time on unnecessary detours. Today, Xavier chose the longer route again to accommodate a teammate suffering from warp space rejection. He can't even withstand this level of intensity. That's what the blood of a commoner gets you. So what if he's skilled in conducting analysis and various calculations? Anyone can be trained to be an expert in those fields, so they hold a limited value. He could be replaced at any moment. If we left him behind, we'd save half the time we spent. Yet Xavier lacks resolve. When I raised my objection, he had the audacity to say that every teammate's safety is tied to our ultimate goal. Tss. Our goal is our goal, not the salvation of Philos. The time before last was the same. We encountered a perfect warp opportunity. I said I would hold the rear. In the worst case scenario, I would die as a glorious martyr, but Xavier turned back with Sullivan to rescue me. When they hauled me onto the ship, I didn't pass out from my injuries. I promise it wasn't that at all. Rather, the fury at the missed opportunity got to me. We're stranded on Earth now. Hope grows dimmer by the day. Everything makes me angry. Being part of these backtrackers means endless arguments. The curly-haired idiot Jeremiah is everywhere, and he actually said no one wants to work with someone like me. He knows nothing. Efficient commands and necessary sacrifices are what it means to be responsible for everyone. Yet somewhere along the way, fewer people argue with me. Life on Earth is eroding their will. Those who choose to leave always slip away in silence, to some nameless island or unremarkable bookstore. Some succumb to the fear of their bodies aging. Others fall to the loneliness gnawing away at their soul. Today, that mechanical sugar glider sputtered and died. The person who could fix it is already gone. Why does Xavier never reveal his anger? If it were me, I would have removed that dead weight long ago. Yet he stands there, watching people come and go. I've had enough. Maybe I should leave too. It's not like the Slepen pod's door can survive another one of my outbursts. Today I walked out alone, farther than I've ever gone, but perhaps today is no longer means anything. Operation Backtrack has stretched on for so long that my sense of time and space grows hazier by the day. At some point during my wandering, I met Soren. It took me a moment to recall his name. Soren's presence in the Backtrackers was always negligible. He always shrank into corners and agreed to everything anyone said. Just looking at him made me irritated. What was his unique quality anyway? Oh, right. Xavier once praised his sharp mind. Apparently, some of the Backtrackers' boldest early concepts had his fingerprints on them. He was surprisingly open around me and shared many of his ideas. I changed my opinion of him. He's more tolerable than the other commoners. He doesn't talk back, and he remembers several of my flawless proposals that Xavier vetoed. With perfect clarity, I might add. If I run into Soren again, I might be willing to exchange a few more words with him. The endless days since their backtracking began are condensed between these pages. It only took 2 days to read through them. Soren closes the diary and tosses it into the depths of a drawer. When he steps out of the gray ever building once more, he slips on a well-practiced mask of humble deference. His objective is clear as he walks toward the distance. This will be the last staged encounter. He's confident of that. It's been a long time. Isaiah turns and finds Soren reaching out with a smile. I knew you'd choose this path. Someone has to take the first step to save Philos, and it can only be you, Soren says. Chapter 4. Test Records. Trial Subject, Isaiah. Record Keeper, Soren. Test Record, A-0731. Trial Subject Status, Excellent. Compliance, High. After administering the beta-type adaptation serum, the subject's native Philosian vital signs and physiological markers remain stable. No acute rejection from the immune system or organ dysfunction was observed as initially anticipated. Note, the subject's royal bloodline demonstrates significant environmental tolerance with no signs of physical aging. The data suppresses all previous examples. The subject shares a blood relation with X. Early observational data show partial alignment with X. This phase has verified the viability of using a comparable high-quality bloodline as a substitute model to study the unique physiological mechanisms of X. Data will be applied to optimize development of the next serum. The application target is still X. Note, the trial's subject desire for self-validation that surpasses the Crown Prince provides a perfect behavioral motivator for the project. This psychological suggestion should be continuously reinforced. Dialogue recording. Increase my dosage for the next phase. I'll prove that the path I've chosen is more effective than Xavier's. Of course, once you've successfully tolerated and go past this threshold, we'll reach a new horizon. When that happens, you'll be the pioneer who's crucial to saving Philos. When did you get your hands on all this high-precision equipment? The fairest thing about fate is that it rewards those who prepare in advance. Test record E-0929. To support the development of Beta-type Adaptation Serum 2, a request has been submitted to Ever HQ for the latest functional observation pod. The subject exhibits symptoms of neuropathic pain and cellular metabolic dysfunction, but the body hasn't been irreversibly damaged. The most noteworthy observation is how the physiological age fluctuation is stabilizing. The passage of time affects the subject even less than baseline levels. This strongly suggests that royal bloodlines may have a genetic mechanism capable of significantly decelerating telomere. Oh God, I hate science. Telomere degradation while maintaining high-level cellular regeneration. It exceeds the slow aging exhibited by ordinary Philosians. Given the subject's status as an experimental body who's the most closely related to X via bloodline, data on tolerance limits must be obtained. This data aims to decode the core mechanisms of royal bloodlines and precisely extrapolate dosage thresholds and potential control nodes applicable to X. Consequently, data from this phase is critical to secure long-term stability and compliance from X within the Planet Transplantation Initiative. Note, targeted psychological intervention has been enhanced to address emerging anxiety and suspicions. Dialogue recording. This doesn't feel right. Your body is restructuring itself. It's adapting to a new world. I thought we were going back to our original world. Our Philos. Ugh. Return demands unassailable power. What you're gaining is power Xavier could never hope to obtain. He's still running in circles and struck in his delusions, but we will lead the Philosians. But it hurts so much. My head's a mess. Soren. See, you're breaking past your limits. Grit your teeth and push through. It's proof that you're better than him. Don't you believe in yourself? Soren is a sick asshole. I just want that clear. Test record H-1113. The subject's rejection has become critical. It's accompanied by intermittent mental disorientation, memory retrieval dysfunction, and an unstable evol. Tolerance limits are approaching. Acquisition of critical data is nearing completion and proves to be highly valuable. Currently awaiting HQ's approval of the report before advancing the adaptation serum. HQ's latest attempt to directly acquire X has failed. As such, this trial subject remains the only viable substitute model for in-depth live experimentation. The subject must be kept until a finalized adaptation serum capable of controlling X is successfully developed. I feel horrible for Isaiah right now. This is not okay. Note, the trial subject has discovered the Planet Transplantation Initiative and refused to cooperate with the trials. Forced containment measures will be implemented. Dialogue recording. The Planet Transplantation Initiative. Soren, you were never trying to help me. Calm down. Since our backtracking began, surely you understand that no one can help us. There are only choices to make. Xavier clings to his useless principles and runs in place, but you dare to choose a path with an end in sight. I need data. You crave superiority. We get what we want. You bastard! You've been experimenting on my noble body to develop drugs to control him? He is the key and the most unstable variable. Emotion and duty are too fragile against the weight of time. I must possess the means to ensure his cooperation. From the very beginning, you only saw me as his substitute. You can think of it that way. After all, Xavier was born with everything, including the privilege to run away, but you and I are the ones left behind. We have no choice but to seize what we can, even if it means taking risks. Put down the documents, Isaiah. Your value determines your place. Now please accept the final injection. Chapter 5, Salvation. Very much so. Like, leave my little jerk, leave him alone. Look, I can call him a snobby asshat. You cannot. Definitely not Soren. Are you spacing out again? Jeremiah walks in and sets a warm meal on the small table. The clatter is deliberately loud, an attempt to drag Isaiah's attention back to the present. It's been over 2 weeks since Xavier rescued him. Yet Isaiah still drifts into these daydreams from time to time. Beneath the loose hospital gown, the wrists peeking out still bear fading ligature marks and bruises from needles. The slightest sound makes him go rigid. His unfocused pupils contract before dilating again. It's no different now. Isaiah flinches subconsciously, his eyes darting warily from the food to Jeremiah's hands. No weapon, no syringe. There's just a large bouquet of fresh flowers clutched against his chest. What are you staring at? Jeremiah responds with unapologetic glare. I've got a shop to run. Dropping off your food and delivering flowers to a client nearby is killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Xavier sent you? Isaiah's voice comes out dry and rough because of disuse. Soren's final words echo in his ears like a recurring nightmare. He's disoriented, struggling to reconnect with reality. Obviously. You think I'd be willing to look at your grumpy face? Jeremiah huffs. He's got other things to deal with. You don't have to do this. Isaiah turns away, his tone deliberately distant. A curly-haired commoner suddenly acting charitable. If you want something from me, just say it. Stop spouting nonsense. Jeremiah's movements are brisk and efficient as he raises the folding bed's backrest and swings the metal tray in front of Isaiah. Eat. Otherwise, I'll hold your nose and pour it down your throat, prick. A utensil is shoved into Isaiah's hands. He doesn't touch the food. Irritated, he jabs at a stubborn piece of broccoli until it rolls to the edge of the container. He scoffs. Did you make the broccoli this tough on purpose, as petty revenge? Let me make one thing clear. I never believed in Soren. It was mutual expectation, nothing more. I just chose the wrong ally. Jeremiah leans back in his chair. Oh? That works out perfectly then. If it was only about using each other, you wouldn't have expected him to be sincere. Isaiah lets out a humorless laugh. Refusing to lose, he pushes himself up against the bed. Sincere? Does anyone in the backtrackers even know what that means? Weren't we just in it for ourselves from the start? If you never trusted anyone, then why did you join? Who knows what Xavier's really after? Silence settles over the room. Isaiah catches his breath and braces for Jeremiah's biting comeback. But Jeremiah smirks. He takes back Isaiah's utensil and places it with a spoon. Then he rescues the battered broccoli by putting it in his own mouth. Cheeks puffed, he answers. It's muffled but clear. The first time Xavier brought me one of those awful meat patties from Astria Knight's Academy cafeteria, he wasn't expecting me to help him save a planet. Chapter 6. Isaiah versus the world. Day after day, through arguments that seem to have no end in sight, Lincoln's annual carnival finally arrives. That evening, a peculiar wanderer-shaped lamp appears on one of Philo's windowsills. Its crooked grin beams lopsidedly into the room. Isaiah stares at it until his vision goes dark. A heavy bundle of clothes landed on his head and blocked his view. Jeremiah! Isaiah yanks off the offending garment and turns around. He's fuming. The culprit flashes him an utterly unapologetic expression. 2 people stand nearby. Xavier wears an expression of pure innocence while she... Oh, okay. I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Two people stand nearby. Xavier wears an expression of pure innocence while she smiles warmly. There is a beautifully wrapped gift cradled in her hands. Isaiah, this is for you. Are you sure you want to give it to him? Xavier leans in to whisper to her as if lodging a very serious complaint. He didn't prepare a gift. Exactly. Isaiah doesn't understand any Earth holidays. Jeremiah chimes in. And yet she still walks up to him with the gift. Isaiah's expression tenses. He wants to say he has no need for childish Earth gimmicks, but she holds it, the wrapping paper crinkling softly, and smiles. Take it. You'll understand all of Earth's holidays by next year. Isaiah hears Xavier and Jeremiah snickering behind her, but the laughter doesn't ignite his temper this time. The tips of his ears burn as he accepts the gift. He clutches it tightly to his chest. Are you sure you... Come on. There we go. What? Yep, okay. Pushed and dragged, Isaiah is hauled onto the street. By the time he emerges from Philo, he has been transformed into a leafy green pea pod launcher. His mouth is a cylindrical tube designed to fire candy-stuffed pellets. Jeremiah dressed up as a walnut. She and Xavier walk slightly ahead. They're wearing matching cherry headpieces with intertwined stems as they carry a wicker basket to exchange small gifts with other participants. Do you want to know why I made you wear this costume? Jeremiah shares his design philosophy with Isaiah. I realize you and peas have something in common. You're great at shooting your mouths off. You're asking for a beating. Isaiah moves to kick Jeremiah, but when he lifts his leg, a group of excited children comes rushing over. They're surrounding him, little hands stretched into the air, and their eyes sparkle as they cheer. Pea-Man, give us pea-flavored candy. Isaiah freezes. He wants to back away and snap at them to get lost. When he glances behind him and sees Jeremiah, Xavier, and her smiling and playing along, however, the words die in his throat. He swallows them. With every bit of irritation he has, he spits 2 candy balls from his launcher. There, now leave. The children's cheers grow even louder as they scatter like they've just claimed treasure. Jeremiah and Isaiah carry a large cloth sack between them and collect the small gifts passersby offer in return. Whenever someone approaches with goodwill, the stiff "no thank you" forming in Isaiah's throat never escapes. It's stuffed back down by whatever trinket gets pressed into his hands. Colorful candy, knitted coasters, homemade cookies, a bright jumbled mess piles up at the bottom of the bag. I hope you have a fun carnival experience. The gift givers reveal bright smiles before they melt back into the crowd. Everything in the sack is light, yet Isaiah's arms feel heavy. Resting on a roadside bench, he fishes out an unremarkable piece of fruit candy. Its wrapper almost cheap looking. Slowly, he peels it open to reveal the translucent orange drop inside. Philos' banquets are always featured exquisite confections arranged on silver platters. They were symbols of etiquette and status. He is genuinely hungry. Isaiah puts the candy in his mouth and tastes artificial flavoring. It's nothing like the subtle, layered complexities the palace chefs once crafted, yet this simple, unrefined sweetness cuts through the numbness on his tongue, rushes down his throat, and spreads warmth. Well, isn't it lively here? Jeremiah gazes at the stream of people flowing through the street. It's whatever, Isaiah mutters. Philos was lively too. An evening breeze drifts by, carrying the scent of flowers and pastries. A pea sits beside a walnut. Jeremiah pats his shell, his gaze drifting toward the cake store on the corner. Something flickers in his eyes. Seconds pass in silence. Then he quietly says, if this were Philos, these people might have been turned into nutrients for the planet. Festival lights strung along both sides of the long street flicker to life with a soft pop. They blaze against the approaching dark. Surprised cheers ripple through the crowd as strangers embrace one another. The glow is impartial. If it offers him a small bit of light too. The candy sweetness still lingers on Isaiah's tongue. A long time passes before he finally sits up, his back stiff and aching. He doesn't notice that he carefully folded the crumpled wrapper into a tiny square. He's clutching it in his palm. And there we get a little insight into Isaiah. Oh. Well, we did it, children. We made it to Lighten the Dust. Next week, we'll finish out The World Underneath with Goodnight Frostmare, A Fairy Tale, On a Kindness Aesthetics, Above the Ashes, and Fair Night's Edge. I have to perk a little bit on this. I think of the 5 I just read, I think I'm torn between Story 23 and 24 as my favorite. But they're all so good. Like, I love the peek into Zayne's parents in Dust to Autumn. The bucket list is just bittersweet with Grandpa and how that comes into play back into the main story arc. Sylus being on a very mundane date and Meyer having to get a grip on reality was funny as hell. I feel so bad for Gideon. Like the breakup of the bromance that is Gideon and Caleb because of the Turing chip and what's going on, like, hurts my heart so much. And then, so I think I saw a notification about what was it? There's so on the 28th, the Moon Howl party. I think I saw something to that effect. So I will have to take a look at that and see what's going on and if I'm going to schedule for something for that. But for the moment, Mama is going to gracefully exit stage left. I hope you enjoyed our time together. I hope you look forward to next week. We have a lot happening. Nikki and I will be recording the new podcast episode tonight, so that will be posted on Thursday morning. A reminder that Nikki will be out starting tomorrow and the rest of next week for her surgery and other personal things. But I will be here with you, my darlings. I will be here. I will be streaming. We'll figure out what to do. It'll be great. So look out for that. Thank you for the mukbang. Thank you for the cheers. Thank you for the memberships over on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for being here and your support and your interaction. In honor of the most recent LI, and I feel like I'm being called to do it, I must respond to my children. I will give you one more awoo. Oh my gosh. Awoo. Lord, it is hot and I need to go shower off or something. I am melting, children. Mama is melting through the ground. So, goodbye, my darlings. Good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Mama Void, and I will see you on the other side. Bye, all.